Hello, everyone. I'm audible. So, fine, guys. I think I'm audible to every one of you. So, just a quick update on your internship. So, tonight we are going to launch your internship. I think we have already sent you a notification, and we will send you a mail for internship by tonight. So, what and all projects are available, and what is the procedure to do an internship, how you will be able to enroll, how you will get a certificate, so each and everything in details, and what and all rules and regulations that you have. So I think dashboard is already ready from our side for our internship part, and you all will be able to get a notification by tonight, so probably after 12 o'clock you will be able to get that midnight, right? So not before that one. We are uploading a project, so far so forth. We have uploaded approximately 100 project into different domain, so like a Python based project, machine learning based project, and deep learning based project. So this is something that we have already uploaded. So you can go, you can select, and you can try to enroll into the internship. And before that, so you will be able to get a proper video notifications, each and everything from our side, so where each and every details and descriptions and procedures, everything you will be able to find out. All right. So you're not supposed to worry about anything apart from this, what and all, like a offer later part, or maybe a release later part, submission part. So each and everything you will be able to understand through that video, which we are going to release, and we are going to update our same inside your dashboard as well. So everything will be available even inside your dashboard. Yeah. So from now onwards, from tonight onwards, after tonight for sure, so maybe 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, so after that, so you can start working on your internship part, and you can start completing your project with guidelines that we are going to mention, or the procedure that we are going to mention, and you will be able to get a dashboard access basically. So there is a specific dashboard for an internship, and you all will be able to access this particular dashboard. Those who have not filled a form, so even they will be able to get this particular access, so you are not supposed to worry about it. Right? So I think it's pretty amazing things. So based on your need and based on your requirements, so you will be able to select and you will be able to work, and at a time, so you can work in multiple project, multiple domain. We don't have any kind of a issue because here as a part of internship, so you are simply supposed to work, right? So there is no restriction. Even this time we are launching an internship in such a way that you will be able to involve your friends, families, anyone that you want. I will give you all those information, right? So all those procedure and things are already mentioned over here. Right. So there is an invite link that we have given. So where you can try to invite anyone, even outside of Aineron. And even though they are not enrolled, so they will be able to work along with you in your project. And you both will be able to get your joining letter. You both will be able to get your completion letter with certain guidelines for sure. Right. Because we are going to make sure that your each and every project, your each and every submission will go through a complete scrutiny, and then you will be able to get a completion letter, offer letter by the time you will join, so you will be able to get by default. So that will be available inside your dashboard itself. So more information I think you will be able to get. Yeah. We have just uploaded all the project, and we are doing a testing of each and everything, right? So that everything will be fine. There won't be any kind of a glitch, because there are so many documentations which is involved, hundreds of documentations which was involved to release these many number of project. So yeah, and you all can try to work in all of these projects, and all of these projects are nothing but it's a subset of the project that Aineron has done at some point of a time for some of its clients, or maybe for some of its internal projects. So this is how we have created this entire project. Every time this is what we do. So this is not the first time we are releasing our internship, but yeah, so this time we have made these things a little bit more flexible in terms of because till last time, so we were not allowing anyone till our last internship. That's the reason. So we have taken a little bit of time. So we were not allowing anyone to work in a multiple project at a time, and we were not allowing anyone to even select a multiple domain, or to involve someone from outside who was not enrolled into iron courses, right? But this time, so I think it's pretty much flexible for all of us. Yeah. So you all can enjoy your internship. We will be able to log in from tomorrow. Yeah, from tonight, I think after 2 or 3 o'clock. So you will be able to log in. So we will update these things in your dashboard. Plus, we will send you a notification. Yeah, multi-project, multi-domain, many thanks. Yeah, so so just try to participate as much as possible. That's the news. Your dashboard is already ready. We have done that. Our team is just working on the finalization of a couple of things, right, in terms of some small part in a document, so that you will be able to get a proper information. And then I will record one video, and I'll just upload these things in this section. So how to use section. So in how to use section, my previous video is available. So here you will be able to get all the information, all the ideas that how to use these things. Terms and condition, I think we have already updated that what are the terms and conditions, and this is what you are supposed to follow. So it's not a hard terms and condition that we have put over here. So it's like a kind of flexible terms and condition where you can collaborate, participate, and work. At the end of the day, we want you to just work and get experience and get exposure. That's the only thing that we are looking for. And as you can see, I'm able to enroll into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 projects. So likewise, you can enroll yourself into hundreds of projects. Simple. Is there any business analytics project also? I enrolled in a program last week. I'm a BI guy. So BI project will be available, I think, by Tuesday. So tonight we are releasing three things, project in three sections. So one is a Python, because Python is something that we are on a verge of completion in your batches. So one is Python. So those who thinks that no, I just know Python, I don't know machine learning, I don't know deep learning. So for sure, you need a project in a Python, right, where you can work. So yes, Python project we are releasing. Some of you are moving in a fast track, and you have completed a machine learning. Some of you have already received a offer letter as well. So for those, machine learning, deep learning, vision projects are available, and BI project will be available. Even big data project will be available. Even cloud project will be available over here. So probably by Tuesday, BI will be available. Wednesday and Thursday, cloud and big data will be available. So this is how we have planned. Same dashboard, in the same dashboard, so you will be able to see those things. Yeah. Yeah, so I think people are feeling happy that they can enroll into a multiple project. So we are not keeping any kind of a barrier over here. What is HLD and LLD? So you will get to know what is LLD and HLD. So don't worry about it, right? So in our HLD and LLD, we have already given our descriptions, and it's a part of iron procedure. Like whenever we try to build any kind of a project, so HLD, LLD, wireframe, DPR, and these kind of things are like a part of our procedure, project development, I would say. So, and again, so we have given you a sample HLD document, sample LLD document, and in my how to use video, which I'm going to record. So even over there, all these informations will be available. So I don't think that you are supposed to worry about even a single point. The only thing is you can understand your requirements, a project requirement that we have given, understand a data set. Somewhere you have to collect your own data set. So in most of the vision project, computer vision project that we have uploaded in ML project, so somewhere API link we have given, somewhere like a data set we have given. So you are supposed to start working on that one. Some projects are very easy, some projects are very hard, but for every project, so there are certain terms and condition, rules and regulations that we have applied, and yes, that is something that you are supposed to fulfill. And all of these things are available inside documentation. So everything we have documented for each and every project, right? So each and every project documentation is done. So what is your coding standard, what is a databases you are supposed to use? So we generally use a Cassandra databases, right? So we have given you our link as well for the data stacks, Cassandra. What is the cloud you are supposed to use, whether you are supposed to expose your project as an API or maybe a dashboard you are supposed to build, what is the logging that you are supposed to maintain, what is the ops pipeline that you are supposed to maintain. where you have to do a deployment, how you have to design solutions, how you have to design architecture, what is the latency of the model, how you should optimize it, or what kind of a work you are supposed to do on an optimization part. So each and every evaluation criteria we have mentioned over here, and keeping these things in a mind, so we all are supposed to create these things. And there is something called as high level documentation, there is something called as a low level documentation. So we have given you a sample of high level documentation, and again in my video in a brief I'll try to explain what is the meaning of exact meaning of high level documentation or maybe low level documentation, each and everything, because this is pretty much obvious for iNeuron project, any standard project that we used to develop. So without these things, we never develop even a single project at any point of a time. This is the a bare minimum things that we used to mention inside HLD, LLD, and then there is something called as an architecture document you are supposed to create. There is something called as a wireframe document that you are supposed to create. So everything is sample wise you will be able to get, right? Again, the code samples, how you are supposed to maintain your git, how you are supposed to maintain your readme file, even those procedures we have mentioned over here, right? Again, how you should create a dprs, how, and then project demo videos you are supposed to create at the end of the day, for any kind of a demo or any kind of these things. So we are trying to cover this internship in such a way that end to end, you will not end up writing just a code, but you will be involved into a complete procedure, so that you all will be able to understand, and you all will be able to get an idea that what we do actually inside the organization. So like I keep on saying that model building is not the only thing that we use to perform or that we do in general, right? Apart from model building is maybe just 1 or 2%. So apart from that, so there are many things, many works which gets involved. And yes, so again, in every internship we follow the same procedure, our regulations are same every time, and this is the same regulations. I think you all will have to implement. Yes. It was my first data since I was able to answer the question. Felt good. Okay, I had an interview today in Jorient. It was a first DS interview. Okay, I was able to answer the question. Felt good. Don't know whether we'll shortlist for the further round, but got some confidence. Thanks, sir. And concept actually works. A stats question was much clear. That's great. Amazing. See, in your batch, many people are able to place themselves. They have already they are able to place themselves. I joined Wipro as a data analyst this month. Okay, that's amazing, Ravi Teja. I think you are in our previous batch, right? Okay, that is amazing. Do we need to work on an individual or in a team? So we are giving you a flexibility this time that you can create. I have also joined Tucson. Okay, that is amazing. So guys, would you like to talk about it? Ravi and Yogesh and Akshat. I got a job offer from Salesforce as a junior data scientist. Silpa. Okay, that is amazing. So would you like to please raise your hand? So I think in this batch I have not conducted this kind of a discussion, right? So Akshat and then Ravi Teja, I think yes, and Silpa ma'am. So if you can raise your hand,
Hello.
right? Yes, yeah. Please wait.
Yes.
So if you can talk about yourself, right? So
Yes, sir. Akshat this side.
yeah, Akshat. So how was your interview? What was the expectation? What was the question?
Yeah,
Just if.
actually, this was like my first interview for a ML or data science job.
Mhm.
So I was like that. I was expecting that I would not be able to answer many of these questions. So
Okay.
I was having that type of feeling initially. But as the interview process goes on, so the first question was normally basically a Python question. So
Mhm.
it was just a simple one. He said that there is a list. It contains four names and give me a list which contains only names with letter A. So it was just a simple question I was able to do. And after that, he said, okay, let's move on with some machine learning and the stats question. And
Okay.
in the stats question, he started by using that p-value question. So I was able to perform everything like I was, I had delivered much more rather than just p-value. I told him about confidence interval, significance value, and everything. So I was much more confident, and on this, I was able to deliver these things. Then he asked for linear regression thing, and
Mm-hmm.
I was able to answer this also. Then he asked me about clustering and those things. So I was able to answer, but to the depth, I was not able to, because so many concepts I couldn't keep at that time in my mind. So I think it was my first interview. So as per my expectation, it was well. So I didn't thought that I would be able to answer 50%, but I think I would be able to answer around 75% of the questions. So it was like the interview round was going on smooth. So after that, he asked the questions which you have told, that PCA, and the question was that why we rotate that feature in the PCA. He asked that, and one question is about the data validation. How many types of validation you perform? So I told them about cross validations and all these things, and I have wrote some questions. And there is a question of assumption of linear regression model, and he asked me about KNN imputer. And the one question is why rotation of component in PCA. So I think I was able to answer some of the questions, but uh, overall the experience was good. I didn't knew that I would able to, but overall the concept which you have done.
Yeah, so Akshat Amsai is asking that your background, like you have a technical domain or you have a non-technical
Actually,
domain.
no, actually I was working with embedded systems from the past 2 years as a software engineer, and
Mhm.
my background is not related to these things. So I have just created my projects in such a way that you told that we have to modify our project in such a way that we have to show experience in that in DS or ML related experience we have to show. So I
Mhm.
just go through one of your project, that vapor fall detection, and I
Mhm.
try to mold it in such a form that in our company there is everywhere there will be PCBs. So in
Mhm.
PCBs, they need to check whether the PCB is faulty or it is correct. So in my resume, I added this project in such a way that I was able to relate with this experience. So I told, and so might be there will be some flaws, but I was able to get one call. I have applied in many companies, but this was the first company in which my resume got selected and I got a chance to come
Okay.
to the interview. So I molded that vapor fall detection project in terms of mine.
Okay.
So and I have also added one more project. As earlier, I used to work in a tech support company before software engineer. So I used something like I collected sentiments and all the reviews of the customers and entered these into the database. So I just created one more project like that. So I have seen your one video in which you have tell that for the data science interview jobs, you must show your knowledge in such a way that you are related to the data in every job which you have done.
Mhm.
And I noted your that point. So from
Mhm.
that point, I tried to uh, uh, find all my things, that what can I do and relate it to form a resume that will be uh, able to shortlist. So I tried these two projects and it worked in this company, but I knew that there would be some flaws and I need to discuss my resume with you more so that I will be able to get more
Yeah.
calls. But actually the confidence I gained today is good one, because I was able to answer the questions, and I think that it is not so difficult as per
Yeah,
you
like
guys.
getting
As
into a job, like even I talk to many people on a daily basis, and they all say that getting a job is not a difficult task. The only thing is you have to like streamline each and everything for a couple of months. I think in that way, yes, you will be able to do that. Yeah.
Yes, but the stats and all the concepts which were told by you and the Krish sir were actually, it was like it just amazing thing, and I was able to explain in much more professional way, I think, and from their reactions, I think that they are happy.
Hmm.
The
Yeah, yeah,
person,
they will be for sure. They will be happy, and the kind of project which is already available inside your dashboard, that is more than enough to like create any kind of resume. This is what I
yes.
believe.
So I am
So
eagerly waiting for that internship, and I have registered. I am a
Yeah,
student of
please do
two.
participate because if I'll talk about a review and feedback from a people, right, from your side. So if I'll talk about a review and feedback, so I have received so many like amazing feedback in terms of internship that those who participate even for a couple of months into internship, 1 month or 2 months into internship, right?
Mhm.
So they all are able to like secure not just one job. And again, in our cases, so even we'll be able to find out that you will end up securing maybe some multiple offer letter. This is what happens. This is like a pretty much regular. And yes, there is a job. So for sure,
And one
we
more
all
thing
can
I
get.
want to one more thing I want to share. My sister has
Yeah.
just completed her PhD,
Mm-hmm.
and she got an offer from PhD in bio domain,
Mm-hmm.
biotechnology, and
Mm-hmm.
she got an offer of lead research scientist in one of the startup in Pune. It's deep tech.
Mm-hmm.
So now she is also much more into the AI and data science. So she used to ask me that how to learn all these things as I am from this domain. So, so I told him that wait for few months and get my referral in your company. So, so the bond is just like everything is linking up, and even she is in bio and she's saying that how can I do programming, and when I said that not everything is difficult and I give him the playlist of Krish and you, so she is also watching that, and she is now the lead research scientist over there, and she needs to work with the data scientists, many data scientists. So I am happy that in the future also maybe from her company I can she can give my referral and all these things can happen. So
Yeah.
I'm getting yeah, so I'm getting confidence day by day. So it's just going on good now.
Yeah, that is like a amazing thing. So people are asking that are you from this batch? Neil is asking that is he from our batch, and
Sir,
Gaurav is asking which all project did he include in his resume to get an interview call. So this is the question from Gaurav and Neil.
so actually, I am a student of your two batch. One is 8 to 10 MLDL, and
Hmm.
this is my second. So you know that I have, and the
Yeah.
projects that I have included is I have told that vapor fall detection I mold it in my own way to
Hmm.
present it in the resume to the
Hmm.
interviewer that I have done something related to this thing, because complete
Hmm.
project is provided by the eye neuron itself. In the
Hmm.
interview, I think that there is only the need that steps which you have performed, such as data pre-processing, data validation, and after that validation also there is much more steps which I've done, such as the file name should be correct, and inside that there should not be null values and all. So all these steps, iNeuron have covered it in a much more beautiful way, and I have gone through that. Uh, in our dashboard also there are multiple projects, so I go through them. So the project was presented by Virat Sagar, I think, and he has explained in a much more simplified and beautiful manner. So
Hmm.
everyone would be able to go through all the architectures at once, and I think that would be much more enough. And still, I haven't got the job, but I think the project which are explained are in much more simpler way, and I think it will be a matter of some time, and everyone will be able to do that.
Yeah, for sure. So everyone, I think we have Ravi, we have Kamal, we have Sahil, we have Silpa ma'am, right? So please, if you can share your experience
Hi,
and
sir.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, Ravi.
thank you, sir. So I am
Thanks,
unmuting
Akshat.
myself.
Thank you so much, Akshat. Yeah, thank you so
Hi,
much.
sir.
Yeah,
I'm Ravi.
yeah, Ravi. Please go ahead.
I'm a mechanical engineering graduate,
Okay,
2019 passed out. For the
okay.
past 2 years, I worked as a junior research fellow for ISRO's Respawn project.
Mm-hmm.
I worked on scramjet end-to-end design and analysis. There, I used to
Mm-hmm.
work on Matlab. I used to run
Mm-hmm.
different kinds of. I use a tool called computational fluid dynamics, and
Mm-hmm.
then I used to run experiments on that, and I used to get insights from the data of those experiments.
Mm-hmm.
There I used
Mm-hmm.
to use MATLAB. And after
Mm-hmm.
that, since research is not filling my pockets,
Mm-hmm.
I have to change
Okay.
the field.
Mm-hmm.
Though I'm interested in research, it is not filling my pockets. So I have to change the field. And I found Krishna XR videos, and then I enrolled in this program.
Mm-hmm.
Till then, I'm not a good programmer, I can say. I used to manipulate the codes in MATLAB, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all what I know in programming. Later, I
Mm-hmm.
started with the first Python class is yours, basically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Before that, I have never been to Python classes and
So
anything.
what is the question like that they have asked? What is the area that they have explored, and what project you have mentioned?
Basics of SQL, sir.
Okay,
For
basic of
basics of
SQL they have
SQL,
asked.
and
Okay.
then they asked me that since you know Python, we are only using SQL here.
Mm-hmm.
In which way you can use Python here? I told I can use pandas for that,
Mm-hmm.
and they
Mm-hmm.
asked me the basic question: how will you handle missing values, and then
Okay.
basic prediction using linear regression. And this Krishna Xer's car prediction video in YouTube helped me to answer this question.
Mm-hmm.
And then and that's it, sir. Basic questions and statistics, not too lengthy. They are basically testing the thought process, not the
Mm-hmm.
knowledge on these things. They are giving
Mm-hmm.
simple use cases and asking me how will you do the feature selection and how will you do the analysis, basic analysis by basic thought process. They are testing the basic thought process, not the tech knowledge and domain knowledge. They are seeing the curiosity and interest to learn these things,
Mm-hmm.
not the actual knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to iNeuron for this. And by 2020, I want to become a scientist,
Mm-hmm.
data scientist through iNeuron. And someday I want to be a part of your interview series.
Yeah, that is fine. That is the first and last interview series.
Yeah,
Okay, that interview series that we used to take
yeah,
on YouTube.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, that will be amazing. So, like you are welcome all the time.
yeah.
And I think last Saturday or Sunday, I have given you a 350 question, right, everyone? So anyone who has looked into those questions,
Sir,
anyone?
I haven't seen that in dashboard, sir. I have pinged the support team also. They told
Mhm.
that they'll be uploaded, but I couldn't
No,
see
no,
that in
it's
dashboard.
uploaded. It's uploaded. So maybe I can give you a direct link. So I'll just ping you a direct link, maybe. But yeah, that is like uploaded.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
I think there is something called as, I don't know, interview preparation fast track. Yeah. So in that one, interview preparation fast track inside interview question link, right? So interview questions and interview preparation. So inside the interview preparation, these questions are already available. Again, this is not for you, for people who are doing a preparation. So again, if you have to do a further preparation, so maybe you can look into that. But yeah, there was just a question for everyone. This is the place. See, this is the place where it is available. Interview preparation inside the interview preparation fast track tab. So this one is available. So done. A statistics question only. Rest are pending. Okay, that's great. Send me your questions the answers, Mohit. Solving in process. The deadline is today, right? Yeah. So for other batches, I have extended deadline because I understand that it's a 350 questions. So deadline is now next week. So deadline has I completed a mega challenge question. So okay, that's amazing. Send it to me immediately then. Okay. So apart from this, what is the project that you have mentioned? You said car prediction and that one, right? You have
Card
mentioned both.
prediction one, and I have predicted the scramjet data using this basic prediction models. I have mentioned that too. My
Hmm.
ISRO project.
Okay. Okay. That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you and congratulations, Ravi.
Thank
So
you so
yeah,
much, sir. Thank you so
I'm
much.
expecting a couple of more offer letter from your side.
Sure, sir. Sure, sure.
because
Hello.
because yes, ma'am. Yeah, please go ahead. Yes. Congratulations first of all.
Yeah, thank you, Sudhanshu. So I'm Shilpa. I was already working as a data scientist in one of the MNC banks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I have total 8 years of experience, and I transitioned into data science 2 years ago. I
Mm-hmm.
was into a support background initially. So from
Mm-hmm.
past 2 years, I'm using Python and all, but I'm still not very confident in Python, if I say, right?
Mm-hmm.
So luckily, I got a call from Salesforce from LinkedIn because I followed your tips how to modify your resume and all, and it
Mm-hmm.
worked wonders. I directly LinkedIn recruiter contacted me for
Okay.
Salesforce, and the
Okay.
interview was scheduled. There were 5 rounds,
Mm-hmm.
right? And one first round was hacker rank live coding. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so where
Mm-hmm.
the interview will see what you're typing and all. One question was Python, another one was SQL. So frankly
Mm-hmm.
speaking, I was not able to complete the Python question. It was little tough. It was like a I would say lead code medium question related
Mm-hmm.
to a puzzle,
Mm-hmm.
which I could not come. It did not run also, and I think even my logic was not that correct.
Mm-hmm.
But there was another SQL question which I was able to complete, and the interviewer was happy. Okay, she knows SQL at least. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought like I'll not make it to the second round, but they somehow passed me to the second round. And the
Mm-hmm.
later it was all technical discussions based on my projects and machine learning. There was a specific round for case study, like, how do you improve, say, Swiggy profits, such kind of thing. Like they want to understand what is the thought process. So the case study round was pretty interesting. I had never faced such round before, but it was basically how you approached your problem, such kind of things. So yeah, and the machine learning questions were very basic, Sudhanshu. I never expected a company like Salesforce will ask such easy questions like what is CLT, what is p-value, what is bagging and boosting. It was really simple. I think only the tough round to crack is the coding. If that you are through that, I think we can manage. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's amazing, right? So like back to back Salesforce. So what is the offer that they're giving you, like in terms of hike percentage as compared to the previous one?
So it is 60%.
60%. Yeah, 60%
Yes.
is an amazing hike, like and that too with 8-year experience, and
Yes.
you are already like working. So yes, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it's a good hike. So Sudhanshu,
yeah.
actually, I wanted to connect offline also. I got an offer from Microsoft also. So I'm a little confused, like which to choose.
Go for Microsoft.
No, actually,
So
actually, it is not
if it is same
Microsoft
profile.
IDC. It is Microsoft GD, Global Delivery Consulting. It is not Microsoft IDC, and they did not have a coding round also. So that is why I'm confused.
Okay, so fine, we can connect separately
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Thank
So
you.
I'm just pinging you my Skype ID, and
Thank you.
please ping me
Yeah,
over there. Right,
sure.
and then from there, so we can connect. So here is my Skype ID. So Skype ID is same as my mail ID. So yeah. Yeah, so this is my Skype ID, ma'am. So in your chat, so you can ping me over my Skype ID. So maybe we can connect and we can talk about this offline. Yeah.
Hello, Sudhanshu sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So any question, guys, if you have from Silpa, ma'am. Uh, so what question were asked in a Python coding round? So this is the question for you, ma'am.
It was, as I don't remember, it was a puzzle actually from lead code. It was related to how you optimize the number of trips, something related to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the question asked in your Microsoft interview round.
Oh, okay. So one was completely case study, similar like how will you measure the success of campaigns, and somewhere related to Python, basically how do you improve suppose you have lot of data and you have limited memory, how will you fit the data into memory? So I gave the answer that we can use NumPy and all. She was not very satisfied, but I think I gave the right answer. I said that we can maybe change the data type to say from int64 to int32 and use
Exactly.
NumPy. So I think I gave the right answer. So
Yeah, I think this is what even we were talking about, right? So sometime if you have to, I think in
yes,
NumPy somewhere we have even we discussed the same thing. Yeah.
yes. So such kind of questions, Microsoft they went mostly into unsupervised learning, like PCA, LD. PCA I was able to answer, sir, but they asked a lot of questions related to LDA. What is Gaussian estimator? What is mixture models? Those I was not able to answer at all. I said that I have not worked. So I was 50% confident that I will make it, but somehow they selected. I don't know. Yeah. So supervised learning, I was able to answer all. Unsupervised, they grilled a lot. Which I was not confident. Others were fine related to projects. Yeah. So basically, they want to understand the story, and storytelling is important. Like from end to end, they will ask how did you do the data preparation? Which phase you were involved? How is the who is the end user stakeholder? How do you present? Are you involved in the business meeting? Because I'm 8 years experience, so they want to know the stages I'm involved and things like that. Stakeholder management, things, such kind of experience do you have? So it was end to end. They were more interested in that. Yeah.
And even see when we are doing this interview preparation, even in your batch. So when this interview preparation will happen, so we do the same thing. Like we used to discuss that. Okay, fine. So storytelling is very, very important. Even in my like a DPR discussions when I have done, or whenever I used to say, or whenever I used to talk about this project. So the project that I have mentioned inside your machine learning part, or maybe a deep learning part, I always try to focus that storytelling, because if you will ask Akshat, if you will ask Ravi, if you'll ask Silva ma'am, So one thing like you will be able to find out, which is very common in between, is storytelling. The way you are going to discuss about your project, for sure after first round, in a first round. So like for sure they will go ahead with their standard procedure, but in the second round or third round, this is something that they all will be expecting. And if you are able to cover those things, I don't think that anyone can stop you
Hello, sir.
anytime. Yeah. So
Hello.
fine. Thank you, ma'am. So let's connect separately, and I think
Sure.
we can.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. This is Ajit.
Yeah. Ajit, yeah.
Yeah. Hello, sir. So right now I made a transition into data science job. So I had 6 offers in my hand. So
How many more you are looking for?
no, sir. I joined Capco. So
Okay.
so Capco is a company where I joined. So
Mm-hmm.
it was like iNeuron completely changed my career path, is what I would like to say honestly. That's the honest answer. Like whoever is listening to me, that's the straight honest answer. Main thing, it's not like technically you need to be strong 90%, but if you're willing to speak in a right way, you can crack any interview. Yeah, technically you need to know certain level, but it's the way you say the story is what I felt. Like all 6 interviews I cleared, like each had 4 to 5 rounds at least. So
Mm-hmm.
the 6 offers what I had was, one was from Capco, one was from VMware, and
Mm-hmm.
third one was from TCS, fourth one
Okay.
from Spring ML, fifth one was from Mindtree, and sixth one was from Deloitte. So 6 offers, and I've been in touch with Sudhanshu sir from starting. And this is not my first batch actually. February 2019 is the first batch. So I keep enrolling whatever batches like sir announces. So I feel like you need to give interviews, modify your resumes, and upload. You will definitely get the calls. The first one would be very difficult. It'd be a nightmare. Like as many here would be having, how the calls would be coming, all those things. I had various, because my previous organization, lot many. I was from mainframe background,
Mm-hmm.
so, and I had bit coding. So I changed the resumes, and yeah, like it's completely Sudhanshu sir support, Krishna sir support, and thank you Aineron team. So many hidden hands actually, Jivitesh sir and Virat sir. So many actually. So thank you very much.
Complete Iron team, you can say.
Yeah, complete Aineron team.
At a time. Okay.
Yes. So thanks, sir. That's the journey what I had.
Amazing. See, we just do our work, right? We don't do nothing much over here. Everything depends upon, see, it's a two-way journey. So what happens is we are working, you are also supposed to work. When we both will work, simple things will happen, right?
Yes.
So this is what I believe. I never say that, or even I can't even say that no, all these things has happened because of Aniron, all these things has happened because of me, or maybe Chris, or maybe Aniron team. What I believe is that we all are participating, we all are involved, we all are a part of same journey, and there is only one goal: not to learn, to make a transition. This is what I believe, right? And yeah, so if both side is working together, no one can stop, right? So if we are working from our side, if we are working from your side, and honestly, honest work is important. And honestly, if we are working for just couple of months, I don't even see that you should wait for 1 year, right? What I see is like a couple of months is more than enough. 4 to 5 months is more than enough, right? To at least hold, or at least get secure one offer letter, right? So and we both are working, so in that way, even when I was taking my last week, when I was doing my 30 days interview preparation, so there was one person who was having a 6 to 7 offer letter. 3 person was there, 3 person was there. So, yeah, it's amazing work, Ajit, that you have done, right?
Thank
So
you, sir.
because dedication, continuous dedication
Yeah,
is a hard thing to find out, right?
yeah,
It's
you
like
need
a
to be, I feel like you need to be consistent. Like many people here also, they might have break in between. Like they'll study for 3 months, then ignore for 1 month, then again come back, again start from machine learning. I think that doesn't help. Consistency is what matters a lot. Like 1 or 2 years, you need to be dedicated till you get a job. And after job also, you need to continue is what I feel. Like learning process should be continue, and internships, there are various opportunities. Like you need to use it in a right way. Even though if it's free of cost here, free of cost chalega, that doesn't happen. Internship is very important. It like it helps you a lot actually. That's what I feel because I attended 3 internships. So
Mm-hmm.
all 3 internships helped me a lot actually in learning
Mm-hmm.
wise.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Mm-hmm.
depends on you how you take.
Yeah, indeed. So it depends on everything that how we are going to take each and everything. Yes. So yeah, amazing work, Majid, I would say. So thank you. Thanks for sharing your experience.
Yeah, thanks a lot, sir.
Yeah. So Kamal, you have to Sahil, Kamal, we have. Yeah, Sahil, please go ahead.
Yes, first of all, I would like to thank you so much, and yeah, for the entire Iron team. So actually, I am a technical background. I will not say I don't know about non-technical things. So I have been working like 3.6 year in data company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was working as a data scientist only, but I was looking for a change because the opportunity I was getting, it was not challenging for me. So that's the reason. And yeah, I got an opportunity. First of all, I was not able to speak about the entire project life cycles and all these things. So for me, it is like the how you done the projects, architectures, these are the main means questions like that. So whenever they ask me about the tell me about yourself, after one or two interview, I was got panic. Okay, but after one or two interview, I got to know how what is the interview's mind. So I try to drag like that. Whatever I know, they should ask that questions only. They have prepared some of the questions at the last moment. They will ask, but I keep on talking about the projects. What are the challenges? What are the issues I have faced? Like that, and I keep on extending the time as well for this explaining the projects and all. And they will get to also excite to know the when I will talk about the challenges I have faced. So they want to know, okay, how you deal with that challenges, what are the
Mm-hmm.
concepts you have learned in that, so where
Mm-hmm.
did you learn from these concepts, so what are the major things. So in that only they will ask so many questions like that. So I was well prepared for that using with the help of the DPR. I must say that's really helped me a lot at the last moment because I can't remember all the project at that period of time. What are the
I
challenges I have?
always insist everyone to prepare a DPR, right? DPR is something that happens only in Iron. Like this word is introduced in Iron, you can say.
Yes, means
uh,
it's for us only because at the time of interview, the next day you have an interview and you don't know which project I have to talk about, and also we have to see the job description as well. And
hmm.
for that is also matter because one of the interview I got like computer vision, they are asking for the NLP, and I was he was talking the stuff. Okay, no, I am in the field of NLP, so that also matters. So we have to read about the job description, what they are enthusiast and what they want to know. And yeah, miss for that I also got problems like Python, SQLs and all these things. So this is not major concern for me because I like coding, so I keep on coding like this. So they ask many questions like Python, pandas, and even for the numpys while working with the computer vision. So they ask like from the numpys to convert all these things scenarios whatever we done in the TensorFlow. So they ask me with the light numpy you have to convert all these means batch size and all these things. So I was able to convert all these things. And they also like, and I also explain one of the architecture like ResNet in a beautiful way like you have teachers in the class. So I try to give all this input in that ResNet and the VGC16 while explaining the project. And I just asked, can I explain this thing? He told, okay, go on. So when I was going on, he was so enthusiastic and he was telling like, okay, it was a nice way to explain all these things, even a single point that you have explained. But I have watched so many videos of that and try to recall everything. So yeah, one day you told like that when you explain the architecture, your interviewer will be impressed. So yeah, it's really impressed when I talk. But it's about us how you are taking the interview. It's on our hand. At the last moment when we have a time, they will ask some questions like machine learning. They have asked hypothesis. They have asked. But to be frank, I don't remember any definition and all these things. What I remember the examples. So I try to explain with the help of examples whatever I have done in my projects. So I had tried just like hypothesizing testing like t test, z test, what to use and where to use in these things, what are the differences, bagging, boosting. So I'm not able to explain with the definition. Bagging is this technique, boosting is this technique. I just take the example of random forest and the XGBoost like that. I try to explain all the entire flow, means with the help of diagram and all these things. I try to explain with that thing. So he was impressed with that, like that. I just give 3-4 interviews right now. So out of these two has been I got right now for that thing. So
What can be
yeah,
done
even
on that? Like,
yeah, even for that, I must say I also got 250% hike in that. So I just spoke like the how much you expected. I just spoke one word. They are happy to say. Then I realized I have to speak more on that.
250% hike is like a amazing hike. Even Silpa ma'am 60% hike. So yeah, that is amazing. And last week, even before this particular week, so I have received around 2025 notifications from everyone that from this batch itself that yes, they are like able to secure. Like I said, it's a like a journey from both side, right? So if we both are going to work, right? And I think Sahil is the one who used to send us so many questions, right, Sahil?
Yes, sir. In the starting.
I have seen all of your mails, and I like do remember. So whenever you used to get a question,
In startup I was used to give and all these things, but I didn't no, I didn't get a chance to work in the startup again. These two companies I worked, that is part of stability and the MNC thing. Then I am preferring like I have still my notice. I am serving my notice, but still 2 months is there, and let's see what will happen in the next. So this is just started for
nothing
that.
will happen. You will arrange 6, 7 another offer later. I know that.
So this is my fifth interview right now. So there are so many stages for that thing. Like in the SQL, Cassandra, and also they have asked, even I mentioned like whatever I have mentioned in my resume.
Mhm.
So they have asked all these questions like that. Even like what you else know about this thing like Power BI and all these things. So I have
Mhm.
attended some of the free online session in YouTube, like in your channel as well, iNeuron and the Chris channel. So I try to explain for this. Even they ask like ML ops. So I didn't work on that. So I try to explain like they give me some use cases for that thing. So I didn't remember, but I tried with the help of the ML ops, we can give that thing. So whatever I have known like that, so we have just given like that, and they are impressed. They didn't suddenly hike my salary, but when I talk to my HR and all these things based on my interviews and also they are really impressed with that thing. So I just asked, okay, I want this much. So they are expecting. So how much you are telling? So I told like I have done this thing. So I, for my market norm, I just want like this range. So in one goal, they have accepted that. So
Mm.
after that, I realized, okay, whether I
Yeah,
should stop or not.
that is like something which is very very amazing, right? So yes, see, if you have all of this knowledge at a time, right? So if you know various things at a time, so for sure you feel confident. And like I keep on mentioning that storytelling is something which is very very important. And even in my 30 days interview, like question, so I was talking about the same thing, like storytelling is a main part. Storytelling is a main goal. And if
Yes, sir. So
yeah.
I must say, I just took that reference of that architecture you have talked about in the first session in 30 days like that. I also joined that thing. That's
Mhm.
helped me a lot while telling my project. Actually, I give all these explanation. What ML project is there? They just want how you proceed for the ML project. I didn't start from directly EDA part. I just start from the data ingestion, data transformation, then dumping into the data like that and writing
Mhm.
the OODS concept, logs, files, try and accept for whatever you do in the Python. I saw I just say your word like a Jupyter is nothing for that thing. It's just like a beginner thing. So I try to put my project in files and for they ask like that means what is the life cycle, how you are maintaining your ML models, what is the training size will be there, and how you keep on training and all these things. So they keep on asking all this kind of scenario. So I must say, means if you are good in storytelling about the project, means they will pretty much impressed about the project rather than giving your means vague answers for that things.
Yeah,
So
storytelling is like something for sure. We are supposed to be very, very confident. If we are able to win or if we are able to explain those things, they are right. So then,
yeah, and one more thing I have realized like that. So in the first question, they will start asking like, "Tell me about yourself." So when you grab that opportunity and while telling your everything, and when you come to the project part, just explain your project in a beautiful manner, and I guess means it will help a lot. Those who are don't know about like how to answer the question answer part. So at that period of time, this project telling will helps a lot because I
hmm.
didn't counter any questions apart from that project. Only few questions I countered. So that was the basics one, just like bagging boosting and what are the normalizations will be there, max pooling, and what is the difference between ROI pooling and the max pooling. And yeah, in computer visions, I say like loss functions and all these things. They are just simple questions. But when you are talking about the project, so they will ask some counter questions in that, and I guess when you've done the project, you are well prepared of that, what challenges you have faced.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, this is like what happens in general. So yes, thank you so much for sharing your experience, Sahil. So thank you so much, and yes, you have done a great job. Right. Hopefully, I will not receive a mail your questions mail now onwards.
No,
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 just
I,
like a
I,
kidding.
I was going with that questions means and all. Last week I didn't attend it, but I was going with all these questions, and that's really helps a lot. Means I don't say like part three means like BERT and all, but whatever the previous question you have sent like statistics and the machine learning. So
Mhm.
these are questions they definitely are asking. Means hypothesis testing. If first they will ask whether you know statistics, I guess everyone will say I know statistics. So they
Mhm.
will ask me like that, what is the p-value, and they will give the scenario, use cases like that.
Mhm.
Okay, these are the scenario. How what is the role of the coefficient in linear regression?
Mhm.
Okay, so even they ask what is the loss function you are using in logistic function, and
Mhm.
if logistic regression is a linear way, then why it is used for the classification? So usually used for the classification, then why you are using for that thing? So definitely, I must say I don't remember the definition. I just know the logic behind like that why you are using this thing and what are the just like I use the tumor and no tumor, something like that. And
Mhm.
got this linear regression and some outlier will be there. Then we use the means like that. I have explained like that, and then they get impressed when you know the examples. I must don't say like remember all this because it's very difficult to remember. So
Mhm.
if you know the logic, I must say they will be pretty impressed. What I feel, that's what I'm saying. They
Yeah.
don't they don't answer want like answer like repeated one like Google things and all. They just want like real examples and how you are going to explain. So I use like tablet. Tablet means the pen tablet I have. So I used to explain in that way. Even the project I have explained in that way. Or even whatever the question they counter, even I explain. Even they ask from the probability. I probability they will ask five, three, four questions,
Mhm.
and you have to answer at that period of time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
start in every scenarios.
Yeah. So yeah, that's great. Like, thank you so much for sharing your experience. And next is Kamal. So Kamal, would you like to talk about yourself? Kamal, so you can unmute yourself. I think we have already unmuted you from our side. I think there is some issue. Okay, Kamal is traveling, so now and we'll discuss my experience later. Okay, so we have a Kamal guys, and even he has made transition. So Akshat, Ravi, Ajit, Silpa ma'am, Kamal. So if you would like to share your LinkedIn profile, right, with everyone. So if you are interested, so that people will be able to connect, and if they are looking for some guidance or some suggestions, right. So you please ping me your LinkedIn ID. Again, this is not mandatory, so just depends upon you. So if you would like to share, I will be able to share with everyone in our group itself. So okay, from Ravi, site. I have received a LinkedIn ID. Thank you so much, Ravi. Again, this is not mandatory. So just to help people, simple, so that they will be able to connect. And for sure, you are going to get so many ping and so many messages. There is no doubt. So Yogesh, would you like to talk about yourself? Okay, Silpa ma'am. So fine, ma'am. So I'll just share yours. Thank you. Sure, thank you. Okay. Fine. So yeah, I have ID. So I'm going to ping you. So Sahil, Silpa ma'am, Akshat, and Ravi has shared their ID. So you can connect. Ajit, I think you can also share. There is no issue. Yeah, I got it. No, Ajit, thank you. Okay, so yeah, thank you so much, guys. Kamal, so Kamal will share his experience in a later stage. He's traveling. All right. So let me ping these things to all of you. This Intel LinkedIn ID, it's available inside your chat box, guys. So you can connect with them. So don't unnecessarily try to bug anyone, right? Because unnecessary disturbance. No one likes unnecessary disturbance and unwanted questions, right? Because you already heard them okay, fine. So what is the experience and what was the round and each and everything. So if necessary, in only in that case, I think you should message because. No one likes unwanted messages, right? Unnecessary pings and unnecessary messages because LinkedIn or Facebook or something is personal things, right? So for sure people will, so in this way you will be able to get a genuine help. So you're not supposed to keep on bugging them again and again and again, right? This is what I believe, right? Till now, how many batches completed in iNeuron? So I think more than 35 or something, 35 or 40 for machine learning, deep learning, and full stack first is going on. So which is a combination of all the batches, you can say. So nothing new. Okay, so yeah, in terms of interview preparation or something, so maybe I will try to give some session, or what I will do is in my 30 days interview preparation. So I have already discussed many things in very detailed way, and soon I'm going to close my 30 days interview preparation batches, right? So what I will do is I will try to make those videos, some of the videos which I feel that it's important, and materials that I have shared in that particular batch in your batch as well, so that those who are going ahead with the interview preparation, so you all will be able to get a help after completion. Again, don't ask me tomorrow that why videos are not available tomorrow. So I'll complete my 30 days interview preparation like a batch, which is ongoing batches, and within 2 week I think I'm going to complete that particular batch. So probably after 2 week, some of the video I will make these things available inside your dashboard itself, inside a full stack dashboard, where I have already talked about HLD, LLD, DPR, storytelling, that too with a multiple project, not just with one single project, with a multiple domain, multiple projects, right? Multiple scenario, multiple situations. So I just want you to take advantage of that. Simple, right? That's only motto behind this one. Will there be a 30 days preparation for our batch also? No, for your batch, why there will be a 30 days interview preparation? So for your batch, we'll go ahead with your syllabus. Your syllabus itself is very used, right? So now, why we have to conduct a dedicated like a 30 days interview preparation? My notification is blasting, Sergi. Yeah, I know. So guys, they have already started pinging everyone. Sending my question for the second time. I can see all of your question, Govind. Govindan, right? Govindan. So if I don't opt for the internship, see internship, I keep on saying that it's your part, right? You have to decide now who am I to like tell you whether you should join an internship or should not join an internship, even if you are a working professional or if you're not a working professional. It simply means that if you are looking for the experience, if you would like to contribute somewhere, if you would like to explore something new, then you should join. So I think you should not even ask this question, right? And I've clarified, if you have time, join it. If you don't have a time, leave it. I don't like have any kind of a issue. There is no, and again, we are flexible enough to give you as much flexibility as you want, right? Even I want to learn how to explain our project. So please help. I faced one interview yesterday for data analyst. I messed up. No issue. So it happens. This you're not supposed to worry about it, and you will keep on getting many things. Is there any last day for the enrollment? I think I have already answered this question. I'm not going to like answer these kind of a question again and again, right? So please attend all the sessions. You will get your answer. If you are not able to get the answer, so I'm really very sorry about it, right? Okay. Now, so moving ahead. So now moving ahead with our discussion. So I think today we had a very good discussion, amazing discussion with amazing people. Right, and I think we got some motivation. So I'm assuming that we all will start working towards this one, and for sure, so we'll be able to make a transition very soon. And I'm telling you, it's very easy. It's very easy to make a transition. So you have to take care of certain parts. You have to take care of certain things. And yes, for a couple of months, so you should like keep on applying for a job. If you are not able to get a call, there is a problem with your resume. Simple. Those who are saying that they are not receiving a call, right? There is no other issue except your profile, whether it's a LinkedIn profile, whether it's a resume that you are trying to send, or whatever it is. This is the only issue, right? So you have to look into that part. And again, so 30 days interview videos, which I'm going to share with all of you, it's already discussed over there. Even in many projects that I have uploaded, so in between a project, I have talked about it. I have discussed about all of those things. But yeah, so even over there, same discussions no, I have done in a different way, right? With a different dimensions. So I think you will be able to get an idea. But getting a job into an AI or a data science is not at all tough, believe me. And everyone will say the same thing. Yes, for the first time, it will be tough, but you have to prepare yourself. Very simple. Yeah. अपना time. Yeah, for sure, Nilesh. So, like, I have such kind of a batches where everyone has made a transition. So I have 100% transition batch as well. Because simple thing is, me, you, everyone. So since the very first day, I used to say that I'm not here to teach something to someone. I'm here to, I'm just here for transition. Simple. I don't work like for like teaching anyone anything. Okay, fine. Moving ahead. So moving ahead with our regular discussion. So I think in last class we were talking about a graph, and in last class we have discussed a pandas plot. In today's class, I will be talking about a Plotly Seaborn cufflinks. Plotly and Seaborns. Plotly. I think we have already started. Right. So we have not created many different kind of a graph that we are going to create in today's class for sure. And then we will try to see some of the graph from C1. And then we will try to get some of the generic idea that why this graph or why that graph is required or important. But believe me, no one is going to ask you even a single question from this particular part, from the graph part. And SQL is important, guys. Remember, SQL. And if they are going to give you a programming link, so yes, programming is important, SQL is important, whatever SQL set which I have already shared with you, and for BA guys, right? So for BA, those who are going to apply for a BA, SQL and any one dashboarding tool is very, very important. You are supposed to get mastery into those things. So whatever material that we have shared, again, basic SQL they will ask, right? But it's all about a practice. So if you are into a practice, for sure you will be able to answer immediately, and you will be able to answer maybe into a multiple way. And this is what we like always. If you are able to answer one question maybe into a multiple way immediately, for sure I will not even ask like a next question, because I know and I will get to know that okay, fine, so this is your pattern, this is how you speak, this is how you answer, right? This is how you deal with the things. So whatever material that we have discussed in a class plus assignments I have given to you, right? So many of you have already completed that assignment. So I think after completion of that assignment, many of you will feel that I can answer each and every single question without even a mistake. Those who have not done that, right, go through that class, go through that assignment which I have already shared with you, and then try to complete it. This will be your takeaway. Plus in between I have given you a small projects. Even those things are important, because there are a person just based on this Python project, a fresher, right, based on the Python project itself, they are able to get a job, right? Because for a fresher, so they will not ask many things, right? They will try to focus on a basic things itself. Yeah, if you know each and everything, that is always like good. But again, so practice, right, day in day out for like a couple of months, and work is done. Simple. We all can do that, right? So, and again, time will come so when I will put the entire batch in interview mode itself. So this is what I do for almost all of my batches. So when I like put all the batches into an interview mode, so again for your batch, I think in 2022 January, so this is going to happen. So by that time, so we'll end up covering many more things, and I'll put up a complete batch into an interview preparation back to back. And as of now, I have started these things for my night 8 p.m. batches, and hopefully they have started working on that part. Yes. So yeah, SQL and MySQL is different. Please try to figure it out, these things by yourself. You're not supposed to ask every question to me, and I'm not supposed to answer each and everything. And although I have already answered this kind of questions, yeah, in my past. So it's your responsibility as well. So I always say is that we all are supposed to put effort from our side, yes, and from your side, yes. Then only it is going to happen. Yes. DPR, I think you have not attended any of those sessions where I have discussed DPR. Soon you will get to know about it. Yeah, detailed project report. Is your mail ID query? Yes, that is my mail ID. Okay. YouTube channel has a DPR, I guess. Yeah, I have discussed DPR on many places, not just in one place. I have given many community sessions as well. Even in my 30 days interview questions, I have discussed a DPR, but over there, it's in a very detailed way. Thanks, Abhishek. No issue. You will get it, Abhishek. Okay, fine. So now moving ahead. And I think I have already shared a link. Okay. Now, so in last class, I think I was talking about this one, Plotly cufflinks, and I was talking about graph, why graph is important, and then what and all kind of a graph that we can try to draw. And we have done that, right? So now let's try to extend our same lecture and try to see some of the different kind of a graph, how 3D graph we can try to plot, maybe how we can try to plot a box plot, and a different kind of things. So I'll try to do some sort of an import. So import pandas as maybe pd, import numpy as np, import import, import matplotlib dot pyplot, right, as maybe a plt, import port import Seaborn as maybe SNS. Yeah, and maybe I can try to perform a import for Plotly. So Plotly offline maybe, right? Plotly offline, or maybe from this package. So from Plotly offline, maybe I can try to import iplot, which is required for our graph plotting, and I can try to import direct Plotly as py maybe, and import plotly dot tool tools as TLS, and import cufflinks as maybe CF, and then this magic keyword I can try to write matplotlib inline. Matplotlib inline. Okay, execute. So this, all this library installation we have done in last class itself. So Plotly installation, coupling installations, each and everything we have already done. So I believe that installation is already available, and for sure you will not be able to see any sort of a issue. And we have already seen that if you have to execute a Plotly in your local system, so for sure you have to go offline mode. So maybe I can try to call Plotly over here, and offline dot init notebook mode, and then connected is equals to true, true. This is what I can execute, and even couplings, so I can try to ask go offline, right? So fine, this is the only thing that we are supposed to do, nothing much. Yeah, so this is the only thing that we are supposed to do, and fine, my work is done. So here is all the import. I'm assuming that you all are typing along with me, and this one is available even inside your chat box. Yeah, now so what we can do is, so maybe we can try to create some of the data frame, and then we can try to perform a different kind of a plot. So here I'm going to create a data frame. So let's suppose numpy dot random dot rand, and 300 cross 3. So this is a dimension of my, it's a 2D data frame which I'm going to create. So data frame, and inside that I can try to give a column name. So maybe I can try to write A comma B comma C, A comma B comma C, right? Executed. So this is the data frame, let's suppose I have created, right? So this is the data frame I have created, let's suppose. So df is equals to this one, and this is my data set, right? So now I'll try to perform a different kind of a plot operations based on this particular data set. So let's suppose if I would like to plot like all the points which is available over here, so A and B. So I would like to see that what is the relationship between A and B. No issue, I will be able to like do that. So if I have to find out the relationship between A and B, so maybe I can try to call iplot. Where is iplot? Here is iplot. So data frame dot iplot. Iplot is nothing but I'm calling these things from a plotly, because that is the alias that we have created for a iplot over here, right? If you remember. So fine, so I can try to call like a data frame iplot, and maybe I can try to give x is equal to column A, because I would like to know a relationship between A and a column B. So I would like to know that how both of this data set is moving all together, right? So if I'm going to like execute this one, so this zigzag kind of a line I will be able to see. But this is nothing but it is trying to connect all the 300 points, and you will not be able to get any kind of idea just by looking into this data. You will not be able to get any kind of a trend by looking into this data. So maybe what I can do over here is that I can try to mention a mode of this graph. Means what kind of a mode I'm looking for. So markers, 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 and now execute markers. Yeah. So now you will be able to see all of these 300 points, right? All of these 300 points, which is plotted over here, right? And you will be able to observe each and every point. You will be able to investigate each and every point at any point of a time. So in this particular mode, so this is nothing but it's kind of a scatter plot graph which we have drawn, right? A very simple scatter plot kind of a graph that we have drawn. So someone is saying that DF code, data frame code. No, just try to create your own data frame. Why you're looking for this code from my side? So I have just used a NumPy random and then I have created it. I think in my previous classes, I have done these things for more than 50 times, right? In my live class itself. So don't expect this things. I want you to type by yourself, right? I'm not going to copy and paste every code in my chat box. So along with me, you have to type. Simple. An experiment is something that we should do. So we should keep on doing an experiment. Simple. Okay, so this is a data frame that we have created, and we are trying to plot this particular data frame, right? So data frame dot iplot and x and y, and mode is equal to marker. Mode is equal to marker means, so I'm just trying to draw the scatter plot and a versus b kind of a relations I'm trying to find out. So here, if I look into the data set, so can I say that a and b are highly correlated data? Yes or no? Then if not, then what kind of what kind of a distributions, or maybe what kind of a relations you are able to see out of this data? Anyone who can explain a relationship between these two data? Yes. So can I say that both of these two data set, right, is not showing me a correlation at all. So maybe they are just uniform distributions that we are able to get. And all of these data set is just a randomly distributed data set. They are not correlated, because if it is correlated, so for sure I will be able to see some trend into a data. But here I'm not able to see any kind of a trend. I'm able to see that my data set is randomly scattered just here and there, right, across a complete like a XY plane, right? This is what we are able to observe. So there is no correlations which exist inside my data set. Now, if I'll ask you, those who knows machine learning little bit, right? If I'll ask you that if I have to do a regression, right? If I have to do a regression, or if I have to build maybe a if I have to build any kind of a model, right, based on this kind of a data set, practically, is it possible to do that? No, right? So this is the advantage of doing a plot. I was trying to just show you that what is the advantage of doing a plot. So before even creating a model, generally what happens is like we used to dump our data set into a model so that I will start building a model. But no, every time this won't be the case, right? You are not supposed to build a model every time. You are not like every time. It's not called as like you will not be able to do a model building if even if someone has asked me. So I'm supposed to understand the tendency of the data, that, okay, fine. So what is the nature of the data set? And maybe based on that, so I will try to decide that whether model building is possible or whether model building is not possible, whether it is possible to extract a relationship or whether it's not possible to extract a relationship. So this is where a plot and everything comes into a picture. Right now, so maybe I can try to load some of the data sets. So our old data set, Titanic data set. So load data set, and here, so maybe we can try to load TITNIC Titanic data set. So this is the data set. Maybe I can try to store these things into TITNIC Titanic, execute, and here, so if I'll try to show you, so this is my data set, right? This is my data set, this is my data frame which I'm able to find it out. Now here, so maybe if I would like to know some sort of a relationship, right, that what is a relationship between maybe a male, so how many male who has survived, how many female who has survived? If I would like to know that, how many male has survived, how many female has survived, if I would like to know that kind of a relationship, So maybe I can try to get that kind of a relationship. So Titanic dot maybe I plot I can try to do. So IPLOT, I plot I can try to do. And then maybe I can try to say that I'm looking for a relationship between male who has survived and female who has survived, and survived data set is available in 0101 0101 in this way, right? So maybe I'm looking for a histogram, so where for a particular like a grouping, it will be able to give me what? It will be able to give me the number. So number of male who has survived, number of female who has survived. So maybe on X column, I can try to put this 6 column where male and female is available. And then maybe as a Y column, so I can try to put survived VD over here. And then, yeah, so kind is equals to, maybe I can try to draw a bar plot. Now, if I'm going to execute this one, right? Now, if I'm going to execute this one, so what has happened with respect to this identity data set? So here, male and female, right? These are the two groups which I have on my X column, X axis, right? And on my Y axis, so it is trying to tell me that how many male has survived, right? And how many female has survived over here. So this is the kind of a detail which I will be able to see, or I will be able to get over here. So this is kind of informations that we are able to retrieve from these kind of a data set, or any other kind of informations I will be able to see for sure. Maybe if I'm looking for some sort of a relationship between fair or maybe age, so yes, even those kind of information I will be able to get, right? So I can try to call maybe this data frame name is Titanic, I plot, and inside this X is equals to, maybe I can try to write what fair. So fair versus some relationship, if I would like to know fair versus maybe age kind of relations, if I would like to know. So yes, fair versus age kind of relations I can extract easily, right? So here it is going to show me a zigzag line. Now, if I have to get this kind of a scatter mode, so I have to change a mode over here. So mode is equal to marker mode, and I'm able to get this particular plot. That okay? So how fair and how this age is moving. Now here, if I have to mention like in my graph that okay, so what is the meaning of my X column and or maybe X axis, and what is the meaning of my Y axis? So maybe I can try to mention X title and Y title. So this is something which is available, TITLE. X title is equals to maybe fair, right? And Y titles, so TITLE is equals to age. So is execute. So here you will be able to see a name, right? So fair is a name and age is a name. So it's a descriptions which is given to me, and I can try to mention X-axis descriptions or maybe a Y-axis description. So this is just nothing but it's a part of the beautifications that we can try to perform, or that we can try to do it, right? Again over here, so there is a provision by which you will be able to change a theme. So maybe a black color theme, or maybe like a white theme if you would like to select in a background. So yes, you can try to select it. This is where a cufflinks comes into a picture. So cufflinks is nothing but you can try to use for setting a configuration. So here maybe I can try to select theme is equal to maybe polar theme, right? POLAR. So polar is one kind of a theme you will be able to get, or you will be able to see inside this one, POLAR. This is the correct spelling. So polar is one of the theme, and now you will see the changes, right? So polar is one of the theme, solar is another theme. As you can see, background has changed, right? So this is just a part of beautification, and cufflinks always comes with the configuration. So you can try to change a configuration of our data. You can try to change a configuration of a file at any point of a time. And yes, it is like going to work fine for you. Again, there are different kind of a graph which I will be able to plot, right? So let's suppose I have a data frame, right? Let's suppose I have a data frame over here. So this is the random data which I have created. Now here I can try to call data frame dot iplot. So data frame dot iplot, and there is another kind of a plot called as box plot. So kind is equals to box. So I think Chris has already discussed about a box plot in the statistics class. Yes, everyone. What is the meaning of like a box plot? He has already discussed, because he told me that he has discussed. That's the reason, so I'm telling you. Yeah. So this is nothing but this is something called as box plot, right? Now box plot is used for finding out what? An outlier. So box plot is one of the way by which I will be able to find out the outlier. If you have to understand this box plot things, right? So you can try to understand in this way. Here you are able to see like A and then Q3, then Q1 and median and minimum. So in my data set, I had a column A, I had a column B, column C. So this is a box plot for column A, this is for column B, and this is for column C. Now what this box plot is trying to represent? So this box plot is trying to represent a minimum point, a Q1 first quartile, a median point, a Q3 third quartile, and the maximum, right? Now formula wise, so let's suppose if I'm going to label this one as a Q1, this one as a Q3, this one as a Q2. So here you will be able to find out that this point will be nothing but, or this is called as a max point. So this max point should be nothing but Q3 plus 1.5 times interquartile range. Now, what is this interquartile range? A distance between Q3 and Q1 is called as interquartile range. So this is something called as IQR, interquartile range. If I'll talk about a minimum, so this point is representing a minimum point. So minimum point is nothing but Q1 minus 1.5 times IQR, interquartile range. So this is a minimum point, this is a Q1 point, this is a Q2 point, this is a Q3 point, this is a Q4 point. If you have to understand these things based on our previous understanding, pandas, right? So in pandas, I think we have discussed 25th percentile, we have discussed 50th percentile, we have discussed 75th percentile and minimum maximum. So maybe even from there, so you will be able to correlate, right? So maybe from there you will be able to correlate this entire things in form of a graph. Now why it is called as a graph by which you will be able to find out a outlier, right? Outlier. So outliers means what? So maybe I have a points, very high points, which is not following the alignments of the data set. And maybe I have a very low points, right? So I may have a negative outliers, I may have a positive outliers. Both is possible. For example, if I have 1, 2, 100, 110, 120, 130, 110, 111, 112. Now, can I say that here I have a negative outliers? Yes, because most of my data set is showing me a distribution in a range of hundreds, right? But here, so I have certain points which is like very low as compared to this distribution. So maybe I will be able to see an outliers on this point below a minimum points. And then there is a possibility that I have a 1, 2, 4, 8, 2, 3, 1, 5, 2, 10, and then 1, 2, 0, 1, 1, 0. So can I say that in this case, I have a high outliers, positive outliers, right? So there is a two possibility of the outliers. I think Chris has already discussed about these things in your statistics class, right? In a better way. This is what I believe. So I'm not going into that discussion because that discussion will take again half an hour of time. So here, I have a high outliers, right? So I have a low outliers, I have a high outliers, and even my videos are available from the statistics part, I believe. So yeah, I can have a high outliers, I can have a low outliers over here, right? So this graph or this box plot always represents basically these outliers and this quartile range, or different quartiles, and what will be the value. So this is representing a median. I think we all know what is mean, median, and mode. Now someone was saying that it was a mean, but yeah, it was not a mean, it was a median, right? Mean and median is different in case of not normally distributed data set. For sure, if you are talking about a normally distributed data set, mean, median, mode will be same. But here, so if I'm not having a not normally distributed data set, so in that case, for sure, it won't be same at all. right? There will be a different value of mean, median, and mode you will be able to receive in a non-normal distributed data set. Now here, so median is what? I think we all know the definition. Yes, guys, median, a middle value, right? So first of all, try to arrange your data set into ascending order or descending order, then middle value will be nothing but your median. If we have an even number of data set, then try to sum this middle two data set and then try to divide these things by 2. That will be your median, right? So this is what you will be able to get in general. Yeah. So this is my median that I will be able to find out. And here, so this is arrangement. Once you will be able to arrange the data set, so 75th percentile data set and 25th percentile data set, you will try to take. Now you will try to calculate that what is a difference between this 75 percentile and 25th percentile. You will calculate a difference. That will give you what? IQR, interquartile range, right? So interquartile range, that is going to give you what? Interquartile range, right? Now, once it is going to give you interquartile range, right? Then you are supposed to define a maximum point and a minimum point. So any point beyond a maximum point will be outlier. Any point below a minimum point will be an outlier. As simple as that. So let's try to do a small calculation. I think we all can do that now itself. Yes. So here, if I'm asking you that can you please try to find out that what is let me give you one data set, one small data set, right? Okay, so this is a small data set, guys, and just calculate interquartile range for this one. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 10, 11, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 2, then 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. Now just try to tell me one thing. It's 75th percentile data you're supposed to tell me. 25th percentile you are supposed to tell me. Now quick, everyone. So you have a data, give me 75th percentile, 25th percentile. So arrange this entire data set into ascending order and then try to find out what will be the 75th percentile and what will be the 25th percentile. Okay, so someone is saying that IQR, Jaram is saying that IQR is 6. So interquartile range is 6. So anyone else who can give me some answer? Yes. Okay, so Vinod sir has given me a complete code like this is a smart way of doing that. Yeah. So anyone? No, so I'm just looking for a manual calculation. So forget about your coding part. So just give me a manual calculation. Okay, so yeah, even in the stats, so we have a method, right? So IQR is equal to 6. Interquartile range is equal to 6. Now, if interquartile range is equal to 6, then what should be the maximum value that we can accommodate? So can I say that and what is the Q3, by the way? What is the Q3 value? So Q3 value is equal to 8, right? Or someone is saying 10. Fine. So I'll try to go ahead with 8 because majority of you are saying 8. So 8 plus 1.5 times IQR, right? So what will the value? So 8 plus 9. So I believe, so 9 plus 8 is equal to 17. So this is something that I will be able to get as a maximum value. So max to max, it will be able to accommodate what value? 17. If any values comes beyond 17, right? So that will be termed as what? Outlier. Can I say that based on that I can try to term, or I can try to label these two data sets as outliers? Yes. So similarly, we can try to go for the negative outliers, right? And we can try to figure it out that what will be my outlier. So this is where this graph has been used, I would say. Now here, in case of a Plotly, you will not be able to see this picture very clearly, but I'll just show you. I'll just show you that how, with the help of other libraries, you will be able to find out the actual outlier, right? You all will be able to get an outlier. So that is possible, right? So when I'll talk about a Seaborn library, so I'm going to show you that yes, it is possible to find out an outliers with the help of these kind of things, these kind of data sets. So it is possible to find out this particular things, or this particular examples. Yeah. Or so there is something called as a categorical plot which exists inside the Seaborn, and out of that, so yes, we'll be able to find out. So here is a graph that we are able to see, and just by looking into this graph, I'm able to find out that this line is too long, right? This line doesn't look even to me, and for sure I can say that there must be some positive outliers which exist over here. And yes, Jaram has given me this code. So with the help of that, I can try to find out IQR, interquartile range, and that exists inside the stats model of SciPy, right? So this is how you can try to interpret this particular graph, a box plot, and this is what this graph tells you. So is it fine? Are you able to correlate these things with pandas describe function? Plus, are you able to understand that how it will be able to find out the outliers? What is called as outliers in terms of this particular graph? Maybe a low outliers, maybe a high outliers. Yes. Yeah. So Gopi, so we can try to go in this way. So we can try to create a box plot, and based out of that, so we can try to find out the outliers. That is possible. So maybe DF1 is this one, right? So we can try to plot this one. Yeah. So see, there is outliers that we are able to see over here above this particular graph. So I'm trying to plot this one based out of the same data set, right? So maybe I can try to increase some of the points, so 101 or something. And then again, so I will be able to see the outliers. Yeah. So Plotly doesn't show the outliers. Yes, Plotly show you this particular line. So if length of the line is too high, so in that case, for sure, you have to understand that there is outliers. But if I'll talk about a Seaborn, so yes, Seaborn does that. Seaborn directly points out that there is outliers. So this point is an outliers, right? So this is what we are going to learn in our Seaborn. So yeah, so plt dot box plot, and if we are going to do this kind of a thing, so it is going to show you the outliers. So this is possible, right? This is possible. It is possible to see even this outliers part, right, in a graphical term, and this is something as a outliers which exist inside my data set, which we have introduced and we have created. So hope you all are able to get some idea. Yeah. Now here, so maybe I can try to call df.iplot, which is a very common one. I think we all know about it, right? So how my data set is moving, and here is a representation or a color representation. Maximum is 8, right? No, maximum is 17. So your max is like a Q3 plus 1.5 times IQR. My IQR is 6. So like 8 plus 1.5 times 6 is equal to 17. This is what I have written. Okay, now there is something called as 3D plot. You all will be able to do, or you all will be able to draw a 3D plot. So let's try to understand that how 3D plot works, how I will be able to draw a 3D plot, what kind of operations I will be able to perform with respect to a 3D plot. So let's suppose this is my data frame, and inside my data frame, I have a column A, column B, and a column C, right? So this is a kind of a data frame that we have, and I would like to represent, or I would like to understand a shape of these data. And I would like to know that what is the relationship between these three data sets that we have, right? Column A, column B, and column C, or this is the data frame, how I will be able to see this particular data frame into a 3D axis. So let's try to understand this particular part. So data frame dot iplot, and it's a pretty amazing, attractive graph you all will be able to get. So X is equal to what? So maybe X is equal to A column, right? And then Y is equals to maybe B column, and then like X, Y, and then Z is equals to maybe a C column. Okay, so here I'm supposed to change mode. So kind is equals to SCATTER, scattered 3D I have to call, right? And now see, things have changed. So here you will be able to find out that every point is represented. So every point relations, every point you are able to draw, right? Every point we are able to draw, and every point I will be able to observe in this particular place, plus its relationship. So at least 3D points, right? So I had a column X, column A, column B, column C, right? Inside my data frame. This is my data frame, and I had three columns, A, B, and C. And here I'm able to observe that what is the relationship between a column A, column B, and column C. And yeah, so see what it is representing. So X means X coordinate value, Y coordinate value, Z coordinate value at what indexes? 24th indexes. This is the meaning of 24, right? If I'll talk about this one, so at 45th indexes. So even you can cross check. So let's suppose for fourth indexes, let's see where is my fourth index, right? Where is the representation of, or maybe I can try to find out any visible indexes. Okay, let's suppose this one. This is the 24th indexes, right? I have to validate that whether it is showing a 24th indexes or not. Yes. So 24th indexes. So I think we all know a way by which I will be able to get what? So 24th index. Yes, guys, everyone. So 24th. This is the value which was available at 24th. 86, 14, 98. So 0.86, 0.14, 0.98. 0.86, 0.14, 0.98. Is it same? Yeah. This is what a value available at the 24th indexes, right? So yes, we are able to validate that how this graph is trying to represent my data, and we are able to understand 3D plot as well. That okay, fine. So if I have to showcase, if I have a 3-column or 3-dimensional data, and then if I have to represent all of those data into a 3D plane, and if I have to visualize that what is a nature of this data, so yes, I will be able to visualize. So is it making sense to everyone? Yes. It always gives us like a very cool diagram. So this is what I like about this Plotly library. This kind of a visualization you will not be able to get in Seaborn and Matplotlib. Can 4D data also? No. Beyond 3D, you can't do anything. So in that case, if you have like a 100D data, then you have to do PC and LDA, and you have to do a dimensionality reduction, and then you will be able to apply these things. This is the only way of doing that. So the code, please. There is nothing in code. I just given coordinate X, Y, and Z, right? So in my data frame, I had a column A, I had a column B, I had a column C, and kind is equal to scatter 3D. That's the only thing which I have done over here. Nothing much. Yeah. So here, if I'll look into the data, so can I say that this is my, this is not showing me any kind of a shape. This is just a random distribution of the data. So can I say that even in 2D, so let's suppose if I'm looking into this data from one side, right? From one face, if I'm looking into this data, so yes, it is not showing me any kind of a distribution. It is a kind of a random distribution that we have. And even in 3D, so when I'm trying to find out a relation, so it's kind of a random distribution that we have, right? So we have kind of a random distribution of the data set. Now, maybe I can try to create some sort of a meaningful data, right? So where a data set will not be a random one, right? So maybe I can try to do one thing. So this is a data frame, right? So data frame, and I can try to create some meaningful data, some related data maybe. So maybe I can try to add one more column. So df of maybe uh, a1 I can try to add. And here, so maybe I can try to mention A1 is df of A, or maybe df A plus 10, and then maybe I can try to create df of, I'm just trying to create some relational data, B1, and then here, so df of B, or maybe A plus 30. Now, so in my df, I have A1, B1. So I'll try to find the relationship between A1, B1. So let's see what is the relationship I'm able to find out. A1 and maybe a B1. Yeah. Can I say that it's kind of a linear data or linear relation that we are able to find out, right? Why? What is the reason? The reason behind this one is A1 column is having a linear relationship with A, and B1 column is having a linear relationship with A. I've just added 10 and 30, right, over there. So yes, we are able to see a complete linearity over there, right? Complete linear informations, and this is the data set that we are able to find out in a 3D axis. Yeah. So it just show you the relations, right? So here it's a complete linear or highly correlated data I have, I can say, and there is a very high correlations that we are able to find out in between A, B, and C, right, everyone? So graph is nothing but it just shows you a shape of the data. That's it, not more. Whatever distributions, whatever shape, whatever scatterness your data set is representing, it will just show you that, not more than any, like not more than anything else, right? This is the only thing that you will be able to get, nothing else, right? So yeah, so we are able to get some sort of a relations over here into a 3D. So max to max 3D data we can visualize. Beyond 3D data, we can't visualize anything else. Very simple. When it forms some shape or gather, then there is a relations. Yes, yeah. So whenever in my machine learning chapters, I'll talk about these things in our machine learning discussions, that when you are supposed to apply what machine learning algorithm, right? So after having discussions on couple of machine learning algorithm, you will be able to get that answer, that when you are supposed to apply what and what kind of a machine learning things at any point of a time. It's not like you have a data, someone has asked you to build a model, then I'll build a model. No, that is not going to like work at any point of a time, right? So that will never work, I would say, never. Yeah. So whatever data that you have, so you can just give me any kind of a data and then we can try to visualize it very easily. Maybe Titanic, right? So if I would like to know a relationship between a fare or age and maybe a passenger class, these are the three axes if I'm going to choose. So now let's see how this looks like. Yeah. So I'll just copy this one. And I would like to know a relationship between maybe a fair column, right? So maybe a fair column, maybe between age column, and maybe a passenger class column. So this is the relationship between fare, age, and passenger class. So for, as you can see, can I say that this data set is separated in three parts? And what is the reason behind that one? So can I say that inside a passenger class on a z axis, this above axis is z axis, this one is x and y, as you can see, right? So this one is Z axis, and yes, in case of Z axis, I have three classes or three category as a passenger class, right? So it has first of all divided this all of this data into three. Here Z is equal to 2, Z is equal to 3, and for all of this data Z is equal to 1, right? And then it is trying to show me a distribution, that what is age versus fare, right? So for this Z is equal to 1, a passenger class, so this is the distribution, and for maybe age and fare, so this is the distribution. So can I say that if someone will ask me to build a model, right, maybe to build a classifier or to build a model, so first of all I will try to group all of these data set into a three part, and then I will try to build a separate model for all of these three categories, because data distribution that we are able to get here, right, is following one kind of a distribution. So for sure I can find out the relations. Data distribution which we are able to get over here is showing me another kind of relation. So yes, I will be able to find out some relations over here, and data distributions over here is trying to show me some different kind of relations. So for sure I will be able to find out some different relations from this one. Yes, yeah. And can I say that this is nothing but kind of outlier? Yeah, kind of outlier, this data which is sitting over here. Yes, I think it will be necessary it will increase the accuracy of the model. Yeah, indeed it is going to increase the model accuracy for sure. Yes, so this data set is like so this is where graph, so people ask me a question that where I should use this graph. So wherever you have to understand a pattern of the data, you can use a graph. There are a variety of the graph which is available, and this is where we as a data scientist use a graph to understand a data set in a better way. Because if I'll ask you that, okay, fine, so this is the data, now tell me what is the relationship between fare, age and passenger class, you will not be able to give me a relations. I can assure you on that part. But if you are trying to like if you are going to plot a graph, for sure you will be able to do that. Maybe he bought as the last moment. Yeah, like he paid 512 plus. Okay, so afterward I'm not going to use a Matplotlib Seaborn after seeing this. Yeah, for sure, like if you're looking for interactiveness, right, and it's easy, right, it's as easy as your Matplotlib and Seaborn, and with a beautiful feature, a very powerful feature, and then immediately I can export all of those things inside the Plotly dashboard. And here, so all my data will be populated. I can make a changes into a data set, and see the entire graph is populated now over here. If I would like to like change some scatterness, so maybe 3D line with which I would like to represent my data, I can do that. Maybe 3D wise, I can try to use a 3D surface. So on 3D surface, if I would like to plot these things, if 3D mesh, so with the help of 3D mesh, if I would like to plot something. So there are many options that you will be able to get in general, right, with respect to the data set, and then you will be able to plot it in a easiest possible way. So this is the advantage of using, I would say, like Plotly, right? There are so many features you all will be able to get from here. Okay, now moving ahead, right? So this is one kind of a graph that you all will be able to find out. There is another kind of a graph called as bubble 3D. So this was the scattered 3D, I think, that we were talking about, right? Now copy the same data. I'll show you a bubble 3D for the same data. Fare is, and then like XYZ column is fine. This one will be nothing but bubble 3D. So BUBBLE, BUBBLE, BUBBLE. Okay. So this one, and maybe there is another parameter called as size. So size will be equal to, I can try to give passenger class. That will be better. PCL passenger class. Yeah. So this is something called as bubble 3D. So what it does is, so I have given a size over here, passenger class. So based on that, it will try to take a shape and size automatically in this particular place. So class is 1, then size is bigger, then size is bigger, because based on the class, it is giving a sizes. I can try to put a age as well. So based on age, it will try to give a size. It's almost close to, you can say, a scatter 3D with some differences. What has happened? So fair age passenger class kind bubble 3D size is equal to 8. Tightening eye plot. Cannot convert float NA into integer. Okay, there is some missing value, NN value, so which I have not handled. So if there is a NN value, so there will be an issue. So you have to call fill NA or something. Now here, fare wise, I think this outliers has paid a maximum fare, right? Because of that, so his bubble is bigger, because here I have implemented size based out of the fare, right? So yeah, people who are into a class 3, so their fare is very low. Can I say that their bubbles are also very small? Yes, people who have purchased a ticket for a passenger class 2, so their bubble are bigger as compared to the this one, as compared to like a first one. So yes, and a passenger who has purchased a ticket for a class 1, so their bubble is actually like a bigger, and these guys, so their bubbles are like a very big, so they are like outliers. They have paid like so much of fees, you can say, right? So there are so much of understanding you will be able to get out of each and every data, so much of relationship, and this is a kind of a role graph always plays, right? So much of understandings and then analytics you will be able to get without even looking into numbers, because once you will start looking into the numbers, so it will be very difficult. Maybe he took ticket in black. Yeah, possible. So maybe a Leonardo DiCaprio Tatkal ticket. This is used in COVID-19 India site. Yes, yeah. So even in COVID-19 India site, so Plotly is the one, Plotly is the library which they are using. There are many places where you will be able to find out that people are using Plotly. So even I'll recommend you to use Plotly, right? So whenever you are going to build a graph, you are going to do some sort of a EDA or something, because of this amazing feature, right? Even I love this particular like a library as compared to any other library. Even Bokeh give you some 3D visuals and some interactiveness. There is no issue with that. Bokeh also gives you this kind of a things, but still I would say that Plotly is like a powerful and very smooth and easy to implement as compared to a Bokeh. Just one line, two line works fine in case of this one. Don't compare Plotly and Tableau. It won't be a Plotly is trying to reach on a dashboarding label, but it will take some time, because Tableau is already having so much of different kind of a feature, right? Which Plotly is yet to integrate. Maybe in next couple of year, 1 or 2 year, you will be able to find out Plotly in the same place, because since last 2 or 3 years, so I'm using Plotly and I have seen so many developments and improvement in their library, and yes, they will keep on changing it. Yes. Okay, so now moving ahead with the next thing, right? So likewise, there are so many graphs. So let me open up my notes, and then there's some complex graph I would like to discuss with all of you. So complete Python module, this one, and where is my Plotly? Okay, so here is a Plotly, and there is another directory called as cufflinks. So here is a cufflinks, right? Now, so simple graph we have already discussed, right? So I don't think that we are supposed to talk about those simple graph. Let's talk about some complex graph as well in a Plotly, right? And some geography based graph I think we can discuss over here. That's the reason. So this huge slide is prepared for you. And I think I'll share this one. I'll share this one with all of you with respect to a different kind of a data set. Yeah. So before that, let's take a break for a 15 minute, right? So it's a 5:08 is the time, and we will again resume by 5:23, and then we will start talking about this one. So I think you all understand a basic of Plotly, right? So I will just try to discuss this entire thing in a fast track. I'll not stop, because see what we are doing in a graph. So we are just trying to connect up points, right? And we are trying to visualize it. This is a kind of a mindset I'm looking for, right? So from your side. So if I know about these things, doesn't matter if any new graph comes into a picture, I will just have to fit in my points, right? Okay, guys. Akshat has created this interview questions for Exorant, right? So this is a question from Akshat's side. Please try to look into this one. Yes, and please try to add. And I'm going to add this interview question again in my interview, like a 350 that I have prepared recently. So I'll try to mention this one. Yeah, fine. So you can say thanks to Akshat. Thank you so much, Akshat. Yeah. I'm unable to view a 3D graph in Google Colab. Forget about Colab. Work in your local system. In local, it will work. Yeah. Okay. So now what we can do is, so I will not spend much time, guys, because what I'm expecting is you understand the basic of graph, right? So in a fast track, so I'll just move and I'll try to cover each and everything from this particular slide, right? So this is just extra slide which I have to discuss in your class. So let's resume our class by 5:23. 4 variables you can't plot. So there is a way. You have to call, first of all, PCA LDA, means dimensional reduction, and then you will be able to visualize it, right? So ultimately you are going to visualize only a 3D, right? But in dimensional reduction, what happens is, so you will end up converting one type of the data or one form of the data into another axis, which is called as PC, or like a principal component axis. So more than 3D, you can't visualize at any point of a time. Okay, everyone. So I think we are back, right? Sorry, when you start a new batch. Okay, I'll answer this question. Maybe later stage. Okay, fine, guys. So let's start talking about this one, right? So here, same thing we have done. Nothing much, right? So we are just trying to like represent each and every graph over here. That's it with respect to some sort of a data set that we have. So this part is done. Jupyter installation and everything is done. We don't have to install anything. The scatter plot, I think we are able to see this kind of a graph now. I will try to focus here. Yeah. So now let's try to focus on these kind of a graphs, right? So I think we have already seen a scatter matrices, and it's the same kind of a matrices that we are trying to plot from a Plotly Express. So there is something called as a I plot. There is something called as a Plotly Express. There is something called as a Plotly graphs or globe. So these are the different kind of libraries which is available, or packages which is available, or modules you can say precisely, that which is available inside a Plotly. So here what we are trying to do is, so we are trying to load a data set. So if you will try to observe this data set, so again, this is one of the famous data set that you will be able to find out, that is something called as iris data set. So where they have mentioned a data set about the iris flower, right? So where we have three kind of flowers, setosa, virginica, and versicolor. And there is something called as sepal length, sepal width, petal width, and based on that, so we can try to classify that whether it's a setosa or virginica or versicolor. So these are the three classes which is available over here. So what we are trying to do over here is, so we are trying to call a scatter matrices, same as your pandas plot. Even in pandas plots, we were trying to call scatter matrices. So same thing is available, exact same thing. And we are trying to pass a data frame, and then we are trying to pass a sepal length, sepal width, petal width. So it is trying to show you a relationship between sepal length, sepal width, petal width, and in a diagonal, so it is trying to represent its own relations. It's like a petal length with petal length, petal width with petal width, sepal length with sepal length, and sepal width with sepal width, right? And in rest of the graphs, it is trying to show you that what is the relationship between sepal width and petal length, and sepal width, petal width, sepal length, petal length. So this is the representation, and it's the same representation, right? We have received even in case of this one, even in case of your pandas plot, scatter matrices was there. I think we have already discussed about it, right? About this particular data set. Now here, so we are trying to like plot this one in terms of a parallel coordinates. So this is another kind of a graph that you will be able to find out, which is something called as parallel coordinates, right? So here sepal length, sepal width, petal widths, and it is just trying to show you a connection, that how which sepal length is connected with which sepal width, which sepal width is connected with which petal length. So for every like a data set that you have inside, or for every record or row that we have inside that, so it is just showing me a relations of every data set with every data set. So it's a line graph that we have. It's the same parallel categories, again a line graph that we have. Now here we have another graph called as gap, like a scatter plot with gap minder data. So let me first of all show you this particular data set. So we are not discussing anything new over here. What we are trying to do is, so we are just trying to plot a different kind of a graph with a different kind of a data set. So this is the data set that we have. So where country is given to you, continent is given to you, year is given to you, life expectancy is given to you, POP is given to you, GDP per capita is given to you, ISO alpha code is given to you, and ISO numeric value is given to you, right? And here what we are trying to do is, so we are trying to plot this particular graph between GDP per capita and life expectancy. So here, based on the different continents, right? So animation groups. So first of all, we are trying to create like a continent wise. So Asia, Europe, Africa, or America, or maybe Oceania. So we are trying to create groups of all of these things, right? And then we are trying to plot this particular graph. So what will be GDP per capita and a life expectancy versus life expectancy in Asian continent, in European continent. So what is per capita income versus life expectancy, and in Africa, in America. So what is the relationship between a per capita income and a life expectancy? So I can say that yes, in USA, in US region, so we have a better per capita versus life expectancy as compared to a Asian continents, right? So here we are just trying to divide this entire data set based on what? So based on the region or based on the continent. So we are trying to perform this kind of operations. And here, so if I'm going to move a year, so year wise, you will be able to see each and everything. So let's suppose we have to see that what was life expectancy versus per capita in 1957, and whether it has improvised or not in 2007. So yes, we are able to see this one. So even this kind of animations you all will be able to create very easily if you are going to use a Plotly, right? And even I can play. So see, so like this is a really very nice one that you will be able to find out, right? So like this one, yeah. And this is possible just based out of some sort of a code that we have written over here. So what will be your X range, what will be your Y range? So X range is moving from 100 to 1 lakh, and Y range is moving from 25 to 90. So X axis and Y axis, right, for each and every continent. So this is what we are trying to define in this particular place. And then logix is equal to true, maximum size is equal to 45. This is what we have given in this particular place. Color hover name is equal to country. So when you are going to hover a name, so which column it is going to showcase? So yes, it is going to show me a country name, right? Even in Europe, so there are different countries, right? Even in Asia, so there are a different kind of different countries which exist in Asia, Asian continent. So this is a hover name that we are able to get. And then a facet column. So this is the continent. This is the continent wise grouping that we are able to see. Color. So based on the continent, so it is going to give a different colors. So for Asian continent, blue color. So automatically it will try to pick and choose what color you are supposed to keep. And then size. So size of this entire bubbles we are trying to define based on the POP column. So this value is going to define the size of this entire things. And animation group wise, so based on what, so you are trying to an animation frame. So based on what, so you are going to create the animation frame. So animation frame we are trying to create based on the year. So this is something coming from animation frame, right? So we are able to create this kind of a beautiful animation based out of this particular frame. So it's looks amazing, right? So just based out of some sort of I can say parameters, we are able to create this beautiful animation things, right? And at the end of the day, what we are trying to do, one column versus another column, right? One point versus another point. This is the only thing that we are trying to plot over here. Nothing much. Yeah. What these different size of bubble interprets. So different size of bubble interprets with the value of POP, which is given over here. So maybe I can try to change this particular value with something else, maybe with the ISO number. I can try to replace, and based on that, so it will try to give a bubble size, right? So based on ISO number, so now it has given me a bubble size. Okay. Now there is another graph we are trying to plot from the same data set. So where we have a data set about a country's, its life expectancy, its a per capita income, year wise, right? For each and every year. So these are the total number of records, and based on that, we are trying to perform these kind of operations. So here again, it's a line graph, which is not very clear, right? Line graph is not going to give you a very clear understanding or idea about a trend or about the data set, but we are able to perform, or we are able to create even this kind of a graph. Now again, this is nothing but area plot. So it is just trying to blur the area, or it is going to fill area part. So whatever comes below a particular line, so it is going to give that particular color. This is something called as area graph. Here also we are trying to perform these operations, X versus Y. So X is equal to year and Y is equal to POP that we have given. And based out of that, it is trying to perform this kind of operations. Now, so if I'll talk about this particular graph, so I think we have already drawn this kind of a graph, pie chart graph, in our previous example, in our this one, pandas plot. We have already seen this how we can try to plot a pie plot. So we are just trying to take a data, and this is a data set that we are able to get for this one. So let me show you a data set. So we are trying to take this whole data out of this data. So we are trying to perform a query, right? So we are trying to perform a query over here. So year is equal to 2007. So just try to do one thing. So try to extract a data only for 2007. Now here you will be able to find out one amazing things, right? So let's suppose if I'm going to keep only this data, and if I'm going to check that what is a type of this DF, so it's nothing but it's giving me pandas data frame. The way we write a query in SQL, in the similar way, so we can try to write a query even over here. So when we were talking about a pandas library, so at that point of a time, we have not used this particular function called as query, right? So we were trying to write a filter operation. So where year is equal to 2007. That is one of the way by which I will be able to apply a filter operation on top of the data frame. But there is a beautiful function called as query, and based out of that, you will be able to write almost a similar kind of a query that we write in a SQL. So if someone is going to ask you that, do you know SQL? So you will say, no, maybe I'm not completely aware about the SQL. I'm aware about a pandas query, right? So in pandas, so maybe in a simplest possible way, I will be able to write a SQL kind of a query. And the ultimate goal is to filter out the data. This is what we do even in case of a SQL query, right? So what we do, we have a table, we have one table, two table, multiple tables, right? So we try to establish a relationship between the tables. We try to filter out a data set out of the tables. We try to perform a group by operation, some cumulative operations, some summation operations. This is the only operations that we perform even in SQL, or maybe a windowing operations that we perform inside a SQL. And exact every kind of operations is possible even in case of a pandas data frame. This is how powerful pandas library is, right? So any other library which is equivalent to pandas, even a Dask, so you will be able to perform this kind of operations. So query year is equal to 2007, and we are able to get it again. So on top of this, if I have to apply another kind of a filter, so again we can try to write a query. So just for a European continent 2007 data, give it to me. So just for a European continent, right? So continent column is equal to Europe, and then query is equal to year is equal to 27, and we are able to extract a data, right? So this is like a very beautiful feature which pandas has given to you. So yes, from next time onwards, instead of writing a filter operation, a manual filter operations where we write df and then df dot this column is equal to this much, and we try to apply and condition or condition, we can try to write queries over here itself. We can write a multiple queries, even a single queries. Everything is possible in case of a pandas data frame. So we are trying to filter out only this much of data, and then on top of that, so we are trying to perform what? So we are trying to perform this kind of operations, and then on top of this some new column we are trying to create, something new we are trying to create over here, or whatever country is a large country, and then we are trying to do a pie plot, right? So if I'll show you my final data on top of that, so we are trying to do a pie plot. So this is nothing but So this is the data frame, means this is the original data frame, and based on that, so we have applied this entire things, right? This entire things, and we are able to see that, okay, for United Kingdom, so total POP is, or population is this much. For France, this much. For Turkey, this much. Germany, this much total POP or population, and for Switzerland, this much. And for each and every country, we are able to represent this one, right? And here is a color coding for different countries. We are able to receive automatically in a pie plot. Yeah. So here, just population versus country name. This is what we are trying to plot. Nothing else we are trying to plot. Title is nothing but this one. This information that we are able to get. So you can give any name as a title. Your name, my name, doesn't matter at all. Now here, so we are trying to create again kind of a pie plot, but pie plot inside a pie plot we are trying to create over here, right? So there is something called as a sunburst. In case of a sunburst, so here, if you remember, so we were trying to call pi, and here, so we are trying to call a sunburst. So just like a sun, so we have a multiple layer on top of another layers. So for the Asian continent, if I would like to showcase that like some sort of informations, so yes, I can showcase just for the Asian continent here, right? So internal one is showing you all the continents, and the external one is showing you countries inside a particular continent. So in Africa, what in all countries data we have, in America, what in all countries data that we have, in a European continent, so what in all like countries that we have, in like Asian continent, so what in all countries that we have. So for each and every country, so we are able to represent those data. So instead of looking into this data frame, right? So I would love to look into this graph for sure to get a more informations and an idea, right? So here pathwise we have set. So first of all, continent means first in a first layer, try to show me all the continent data. On a second layer, so try to show me a country data which belongs to a particular continent. So we are not doing nothing. So we are just trying to do a group by operation. First of all, continent wise, inside a continent, country wise, and then we are trying to showcase informations. So what kind of values that you are looking for? So values wise, I am looking for maybe a populations and color. So it is supposed to decide based on the life expectancy, right? And if I'm going to hover over to this one, so it is supposed to show me all this like ISO alpha data that we had already created. So this is something group data we are able to represent in a sunburst kind of a graph, and see how is it is, right? So now if I'll give you any problem statement, if I'll ask you that, okay, fine, so can you please do a two level of groupings and then show me what are the and how my graphs looks like. So for sure you all will be able to showcase, right? So again, Sunburst is one of the amazing graph which you will be able to get, which is not available in Seaborn, Matplotlib, or maybe into Pandas plot. So this is the graph which is available inside Plotly. Now here, so we are trying to showcase a tree map, right? So same data, same filter operations we are trying to perform over here, and then inside a tree map, world, then Asian continent, African continent, right? American continent, European continent. So tree means we are trying to follow the hierarchy. So first of all, our entire world. Inside that we have Asia. Inside Asia we have China, India, Indonesia, Pakistan, Japan, Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, Korea, Myanmar, Nepal, and so on. Right? Inside Africa we have a Nigeria, Egypt, Ethiopia, Sudan, Tanzania, Kenya, Morocco. Inside like America we have a American region. So we have a United States, we have a Brazil, we have a Mexico, we have a Colombia, Canada, Venezuela, Peru, Argentina. So all these continents. Inside the European continent, we have a data for Germany, Turkey, France, or United Kingdom, Italy, Spain. So we are trying to showcase a tree. So this is the hierarchy that we are trying to maintain over here. And again, it's very easy, right? So we are trying to pass a complete data frame, and pathwise. So we are trying to call px dot constant. Now, what is this a px? Px is nothing but this one. So we are trying to make a constant is equal to world, and then continent, and then country. So this is the three level of hierarchy we are trying to create. So first of all, just try to show me a constant word, or maybe I can try to write my name, SUDH, right over here. So inside SUDH, we have a continent. Inside a continent, we have a country. Continent and country, it is able to get from where? From a data frame itself. Even because there is no word called as world, which exists in my data set. So maybe I can try to create a constant label. Now values wise, so populations. So populations, it is trying to showcase to me. Color wise, life expectancy. So based on the life expectancy, try to like give a color. Hover data wise, ISO alpha. So this is what it is supposed to show from my data frame. So whatever data frame that I have created, so based on that, just try to show me this kind of operations, right? So this is again an amazing graph or amazing plot that you will be able to find out. So this is becoming somewhat overwhelming, too much of graph style to interpret. Never knew this many graph exist. Yeah, so at some point of a time, even I was like having a same kind of a feeling. Okay, so guys, is it easy or not? What we are trying to do? Nothing, right? So we are trying to put our columns and then my work is done. Anything else that we are trying to do? No, right? This also has a tableau. Yeah, so inside the tableau, you will be able to get each and everything. Even inside a Power BI, you will be able to get each and every feature. So this kind of features are available. Right? And you're not supposed to remember any of these things. You can keep this particular like a notebook with you, and depends upon your requirement, copy paste, change your column name, and then your work is done. This is the only thing that you have to know. You're not supposed to remember anything. I'm not asking you to mug up any single name, and name wise just this much, right? And again, so maybe if I'll do shift and tab, so I will be able to get something. So once you will be able to create a couple of graph, right? After that, you will feel like, okay, so maybe I'm just wasting my time to learn something new inside a graph. I can create it easily if someone will ask, right? Yeah, yes, Avinash. Okay. Now here, histogram. So I think we all know what histogram represents. On a x-axis, range. On a y-axis, frequency. In between that particular range. This is what we understand from a histogram. Whatever histogram that we have discussed. Again, meaning is same over here. Meaning is not going to change about a histogram. Whether you are going to use Plotly, Bokeh, Seaborn, Matplotlib, or maybe a Pandas plot. Right? In all of this graph library, you will be able to get a same meaning. In terms of representation, so here in case of a Plotly, it has created some beautiful representation. That's the only differences you will be able to find out in case of a histogram. Apart from that, so there is no other differences you are going to get. Now, if I'll talk about a box plot, just now we have discussed about a box plot, right? So here is a box plot, right? And here, so we are able to get even an outlier. Now, so let me show you this data. So here is a data set that we have, a tips data set. Again, it's one of the famous data set you will be able to find out. So here, this is a data set about a tips. We all go for a dinner, right? Or maybe a lunch to some restaurant or to some hotel. And we try to do what? So we try to pay a bill. We give our tips, right? We may go as male and female. We may be a smoker or non-smoker. On any day we can go. On any time we can go, dinner time, lunch time. With anyone we can go, with 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 6 people. So this data set is nothing but it's a tips data that, okay, if you are going for a dinner, so how much you are giving as a tips, right? So what is the total amount of bill that you had, what like whether you are a smoker, whether you are non-smoker, whether you went for a lunch or maybe a dinner with a group, you have like a went for lunch or dinner. So this is what this data set is representing, a very simple data set to understand, right? And here, so we are trying to plot a histogram, day versus total bill. So on Sunday, so yes, this is something it is trying to represent. And now this is the outlier. So on an average, right? So if I'll talk about a maximum bill, right? The maximum range of the bill is 48 and 48.17. And there is another person who has paid a bill is equal to 48.17. Now, if I'll try to observe over here, 48.33, 39.32, 39.31 point this one, right? And if I'll try to hover on mouse, right? So here, upper fence is 29. Upper fence is 29 means what? the max that we were trying to represent in our interquartile, based on our interquartile range, based on IQR. So your max is, so in a previous box plot that we have drawn, in that particular box plot, the outer line was trying to represent a max, but here you will be able to observe that my max has changed, right? My max and mean has changed over here. So this line that you are able to find out, the parallel line, right? So this particular line that you are able to find out, so this particular line is been drawn. This line we are going to draw based on what? My IQR. So 1.5 times IQR plus Q3, right? So this is this line which is representing any data beyond this value will become a outlier. And yes, we are able to represent even an outlier over here. The same representation that we were able to do in case of a Seaborn, right? Even over here, so we are trying to represent what? So we are trying to represent a outlier, and this is nothing but a max data, right, that we have. So my normal, if I'll try to ask you that what is a average bill, or what is a variations of the bill in general people used to pay, right? So people used to pay maybe on a Saturday, right? If this will be the question, then what will my answer? In between $3 to $44, as per this particular graph, in between $3 to $44, right? But there was a person who has paid $50, right, as a total bill. So for sure $50 will be an outlier for this particular variations of the data set. Now here, so on our x-axis we are representing a day, y-axis total bill, and here, so color wise we are trying to separate the smoker. So here, so we have a data set about a smoker and no smoker. If you will look into this data, so red graph is representing, means first of all we are trying to group our data into a smoker and no smoker. So all this red one is representing that this is the smoker statistics and this is the non-smoker statistics. So here is the things. So now if I'll ask you a question that, okay, so who used to pay a maximum bill? So whether it's a smoker or it's a non-smoker, right? No, I'm just talking about the bill. So this is not a tips that we are representing. This is the bill that we are representing. Yes. So can I say that everywhere on every day, a range for a smoker except Thursday, right? Except Thursday. So on every day range for a smoker is high, except Thursday, right? Smoker are good people. Yeah, so they used to eat a lot, right? That's the reason. So like they don't even realize that I have ended up raising this much of bill. So even except Friday. So here, if I'll try to check a Friday range, right? So what is the Friday maximum range or normal range is $5 to $28, right? And for non-smoker range is less. So 12 to 22 for them. So range is high and maximum range is like a $40, right? So this is the information. This is the intuition I will be able to get. Notched is equal to true means I'm looking for an outlier, right? So maybe if I can remove this part, it's same. So here it is trying to like not trying to flip that notch, the upper notch for this one, right? In this particular case, if I'm going to make notch is equal to true, so it is just going to flip it, this one, right, in this part. So yeah, so based on that, I think you can make a decision that whether you are supposed to make a arrangement, more and more arrangement for a smoker, because when you will go for a hotel, right, so for a lunch or dinner, for sure there will be a smoker zone and there will be a non-smoker zone based on this particular stats. So just to invite more and more people, so maybe you can try to make an arrangement. So maybe I have to place more number of chair and table in non-smoker zone or a smoker zone, right? So you will be able to make this kind of a decision. Maybe I can try to use a tips, right? So let's try to understand that what is the variation of a tips for a smoker and non-smoker. So I'll just try to change a column value, right? So who is giving more tips? Now people can't say that smoker are the good people because in terms of tips, so on Sunday, non-smoker people are giving a tips in between 1 to 6, whereas smoker is giving on an average 1.5 to 5.5, right? But number of people are more. Number of people are more, maybe. So in that case, on an average, tips will be more from a non-smoker side as compared to a non-smoker side, right? So this is the like a very good intuition you all will be able to get just by looking into this particular graph. So many things you will be able to interpret just by looking into this particular graph. Okay, this is something called as volume plot. So volume plot is nothing but it's coming from same box plot, right? It's been derived from the same box plot. And again, there are a volume plot which is available even inside a Seaborn. It shows the same thing, right? It is showing you the same thing. If you will check this stats, right? So it is showing you the same thing, and it is just trying to introduce the KD, kernel density estimation. Now here, so there is something for the same data set. There is something called as a strip plot. Strip plot means we are trying to plot a total bill versus a time, right? So at what time they are visiting most of the people. So I can say that an orient is horizontal. So if I'm going to remove this one, so in that case, it will be a vertical. Orientation will be vertical. As of now, it's a horizontal, right? So color wise, it is trying to separate a data based on a different colors. So maybe here, so like this red color is representing a smoker, and this blue color is representing non-smoker, right? So can I say that most of the people, most of the smokers are coming for a dinner, right, as compared to lunch? Yes. So we can try to find out this one. Now there is something called as density counters. So this is nothing but what is the area in which your data set is accumulated. This is what this density contour is going to represent. So here sepal width versus a sepal length, sepal width versus sepal length, we are trying to represent. So here it is just trying to show you that how this data set is related to each other, density related to each other. So this is the only graph. It's kind of a KD plot, but from the upper part. So if you will try to visualize a data from like a top point, so this is the kind of a graph that you will be able to get. So this is what it is trying to represent. Now again, this is the same graph, same flow. This is nothing but a heat map it is trying to represent. So same data set. This is again. So okay. Now let's suppose if I have a picture, right? So if I have a picture, or maybe if I have a figure, and if I would like to represent that as a graph, or let's suppose this is my ND array, right? This is what my ND array, 2D ND array that we have. And if I would like to know that, okay, so how I can try to showcase this kind of a data inside our, or this kind of a data inside our graph. So this is how you will be able to showcase. So I think you all will be able to get an idea or a meaning that how I can represent ND array data. So 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, very simple, right? So 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, and now here 0, 0. What is the value? 1 at 0, 0, 0 row to 0th column, right? So like a first row, or I can say first column and 0th row. What is the value? 40 that we are able to get. So yes, there is a value called as 40. Now second column and first 0th row. What is the value? 30. So yes, in our array there is a value called as 30. Now 0th column and first row. What is the value? 20. So can I say that we are able to represent our 2D array in a graphical format? Yes, with a different color combination, we are able to represent it. So yes, it is possible to visualize how 2D data looks like. This is my 2D data, and in our NumPy classes, so we have studied these kind of things. So 2D graph or 2D array, we have studied 3D array, we have studied, right? And this is what we are able to represent. Now here it comes, a 3D array, right? A 3D array. So how we will be able to represent a 3D array? As you can see that this is a 3-dimensional array, right guys, everyone? This is a 3-dimensional array, right? Now if you will try to break it down, so for sure you will be able to break these things down into a 2D array. So here at x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, So what is array that we have? So this is the array, or this is representing a color combination with the help of color combination. Let's suppose at x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, we have this array again in third dimension. So yes, this is the representation, 3D data representation into a 2D data. This is what we are trying to do. Now, so let's suppose if I'm going to pull out this kind of a graph, this kind of a data. So this is one of the data, district, then like a code error, then like a run, then jolly, then total, then winner, then result, and district. So this is nothing but it's a election data that we have over here. And if we have to find out some sort of a statistics out of this particular data set, right? So here I'm trying to call scatter 3D in this particular place, and I'm trying to plot x versus y versus z. So x is nothing but, so what is my x? It's my jolly. What is the value of jolly? So yes, these are the value of jolly. Then again, budged on. So here I'm trying to represent in a z axis, and then like a coder. So here I'm trying to represent into a y axis, and this is a 3D graph again. So in between this 3 axis, we are able to represent. So how this data set is scattered, or maybe who is going to win, who is in a majority, who is in a minority. So each and everything we are able to find it out easily. And here, so we are trying to set a different parameters. So hover name is equal to district. So whenever I'm going to hover, so it is supposed to showcase me a district wise. So 131 cent Udorad is a district, and again Myland is a district over here. Then symbol is equal to result. So here all the symbol it is supposed to showcase in terms of a result. And then color discrete map. So for jolly it should show blue, for like a Bergeron it should show green, for Corderer it should show red. So based on that, so we are able to plot all of these data. So again, color code we can try to set over here. That is also a flexibility which is given to you. Now the next data set that we have over here is car share. So this is another data set about a car share. So here, latitude, longitude, car hour, and peak hour. So this is the information which is given to us for a particular latitude, longitude. And we are, so if latitude, longitude data set is given to you, then only it is possible to plot or to represent those data on a map, because map always works with a latitude, longitude. So just try to treat any map as a canvas, any map, let's suppose as a 2D plane, right? So where all this each and every point, so just like in a x-axis and y-axis, so you will be having each and every point that you can represent with x and y coordinates. In the similar way, in case of a map, just try to consider map as a x and y plane. Very simple, right? And every point on a map will be represented by what? A latitude, longitude at a time, right? So this is how you are supposed to treat that one. So let's suppose I have a latitude, longitude in my data set, and I would like to show some of the informations based on this associated data set for each and every latitude, longitude. So for this latitude, longitude, what is the car hour? This much. What is the peak hour? 2. So for this latitude, longitude, what is the peak hour? This one. So let's suppose Uber, right? So if Uber will get to know that for this latitude, longitude, means for this area, peak hour is 11 o'clock. Okay, so peak hour is 11 p.m. IST, let's suppose, for this particular area. So for sure, I have to make more and more car available in that particular area at this particular point of a time. Yes, everyone? Yeah. So based on this one, so again, if I'm able to get a huge amount of cluster in a particular region itself, in a particular latitude, longitude, and if I'm able to correlate these things with the peak hour, for sure, I will have to make a business decision based out of that one. So fine, no issue. So we are trying to call what? So we are trying to call a scatter map box. So it will try to make this entire map available to you. A complete world map is available to me over here. See, a complete like a world map is available to me when I'm going to call scatter map box. Now here, so for any map, like I told you, for any kind of a 2D graph, x and y coordinate, here it's a latitude and longitude, lat long, right? So here lat is equal to this mapping and long is equal to this mapping I have done. color wise, so based on the like a peak hours, different peak hours, so it is supposed to showcase a color. And then sizes wise means the round circle which it is trying to draw, so based on the car, so it is car hours, it is supposed to draw this particular one, right? So here if I'm going to execute this particular part, so I'm able to see that okay, yeah, so this is the data set, and car hour, then car hour, then car hour. So if I'll try to pick and choose this one, so in which and all area I'm supposed to make my car available, so can I say that in all the brown region? Yeah, in all the this is the peak hour actually, so this one is representing a peak hour, let's suppose. So and this region, so peak hour is 20, for this region peak hour is 15, for this region peak hour is 21, right? This hour is 21. So for whatever brown region that we have, so maybe in night time in between 9 to 12, so we are supposed to make our cars available over here if I'm looking for a booking. For all the blue region, right? All the blue region. So what will be the peak hour? Approximately in between 2 to 5, right? So in between 2 to 5, I'm supposed to make my car available in this region, all this blue region, because peak hour will be in between 2 to 5 or 7, right? If I'll talk about yellow, so in yellow region, so maybe I'm supposed to make my car available in between maybe noon time, right? 13, 14, 15 means in between 12 to 3 o'clock noon time. So I'm supposed to make my car available in these regions, whatever region is showing me as a yellow region, right? So a beautiful stats, I think we will be able to get with respect to a data set. Yes, and this is what every company does, right? So they have a complete pipeline, processing pipeline for our data, and based out of that, so they will keep on processing a data set, they will keep on checking our sentiments, and finally manager will be able to get this kind of a statistics, and based on that they will be able to make something available in a particular region. Yeah, so this is the amazing result that you will be able to. If I was an Uber driver, I'll showcase my project related to this data. Yeah, for sure, right? Again, very easy. What we are trying to do, x coordinate and y coordinate, this is the only thing that we are trying to give in this particular place, right? Yeah, so maximum size zoom is equal to 15. Again, this is nothing but just a configuration, right? Now here, right, so here there is something called as Corop length map box. So this is the another kind of a map box where it will not draw a dots. It will try to color the entire region. Let's suppose now here. So we are trying to pull out election data set. So election geo data set. So this is the data set that we have. So this is the JSON data set, right? And we are able to, or we are trying to plot even this kind of a data set. Now, if I'll try to copy this entire data, this will be very huge. So this is the complete JSON data set, and let's suppose we are trying to, yeah. So this is a complete JSON data set that we have, and this is the data frame that we are trying to. So we are just trying to call this one. So this is the actual original data frame that I will be able to get, or I will be able to see. So what we are trying to do is, so we are just trying to pass this particular data set, and then we are trying to pass a GeoJSON data set. So in case of a GeoJSON data set, so we have each and every latitude and longitude which is given to me, each and every coordinates which is given to me, right? So that I will be able to draw a polynomial, because to draw any kind of a polynomial, I need a multiple coordinates, right? And on this particular map graph, so each and every coordinate will be represented by lat and long, means with respect to this particular point, so that I will be able to draw one region. That's the region. So we have a array inside a array inside a array, means we are trying to draw a multiple regions over here. So we are trying to send this data. We are trying to create a map of this election data with this GeoJSON data, right? And based out of that, so we are trying to perform this kind of a operation. So for each and every district, so we are trying to represent that. Okay, fine. So who has secured what kind of numbers in each and every continent, or in each and every area, right? And we are trying to keep our center. So we are saying that, okay, fine. So this will be my center. I can change it, at any point of a time. Now here, this is again a world map. So scatter geo is a world map that we are trying to create over here. And Gapminder is a data set that we have taken. So if I'll try to show you a Gapminder, so it's a same data set that we were using, right? Same data set that we have used. And here, so what is a gap? What is a gap in terms of a life expectancy and a GDP, right? So we are trying to pass all of our data frame location. We are trying to pass, which is available in ISO alpha, right? So in ISO alpha, this is the AFG, JWE. So this is a scatter geo, and a scatter geo will be able to understand this code. This is the feature of a scatter geo. This code it will be able to understand, because every country will be having its own code. So we are trying to pass ISO alpha over here color wise, so continent, and if I'm going to hover a name, so for sure it is going to showcase a country. Size of this entire this one is going to be shown by POP or population. And animation frame, so I have kept animation frame over here. So based out of the year, it is supposed to get the animation frame. And then a projection, so on a natural earth it is supposed to project. So this is the natural earth on which it is going to project each and every informations that I have over here. Fine. So now if I'm going to play, so for sure I will be able to understand that what is relations I'm able to get in between POP ISO alpha from 2007 57 to 2007. Yeah, so how things is growing, how per capita income and your I would say per capita income and life expectancy and all those things is growing over here, how this data set is moving. So this is something that I will be able to understand in this particular cases. This is the informations, right? So year, then POP, populations, so how this things is growing in any of this region. So we'll be able to get those things. So this is again another beautiful graph that you will be able to find out. Now here, ISO alpha, life expectancy as a color and a country. So same graph, but here, so in the crop length, we are able to draw, right? So there are a variety of the graph that you will be able to find out, right? So there are a variety of the graph you will be able to find out, and you can try to animate all of those graphs based on these things. So how data is changing, how stats is changing, so you will be able to draw that one as well. There is something called as scatter polar. So based on the polar axis, north, south, east, west, right? So north, northwest, northwest, so west, northwest. So this is nothing but it's a polar graph. So I think we all know about the pole, right? So there will be east, west, north and south for sure, right? For any kind of a magnet or something. So based out of that, so if we have to create some sort of a graph, so this is the wind data, right? This is a wind data. And here direction of the wind was north. Direction of the wind was north, northeast. Direction of the wind was northeast, right? What is the strength of the wind and what is a frequency of the wind? This is something that is given to me. So here we have done one thing. So frequency and then direction and then color and then strength. And this is what it is trying to represent, that what was the direction of this particular wind and then what was the strength. So strength will be always in between. So strength and then directions and frequency. This is something that is trying to represent. So for a wind data, if this kind of a data set that we have, so where we have a range, where we have some sort of a number. Now here, there is something called as a radar chart. So again, I think radar is something that we all are aware about, right? So it will keep on sensing if there is some objects or not in between, and based on that, so it will try to perform, so radar, this one. So based on that, so it will try to perform, or it will try to circle out the movement of the objects, right? This is what a radar does. So here we are trying to allocate a same thing in terms of wind data. So we are trying to put a frequency, direction, strength, and based on that, so we are able to plot this radar chart. Now here there is something called as a polar bar chart for a wind. So in which direction this is moving. So if I'll try to start from here, northeast, frequency 1.5, strength. So frequency is increasing, strength is increasing. Frequency is increasing, strength is increasing in northeast direction, right? So I will be able to understand that, okay, fine. So this wind is moving in what direction? This wind is moving in what direction? And what was the final frequency, right? In northwest direction, maybe for west northwest direction. So what is the frequency and what is the strength of the wind? So again, this is the amazing graph that we are able to draw from the wind itself, right? There is something called as a scattered ternary graph. So again, this is one of the kind of non-informational graph you will be able to find out, right? So where we are trying to select 3 points, and then in between these 3 points, so we are trying to showcase relations. So this is a kind of a amazing graph that you all will be able to get in case of a Plotly. Now, in terms of couplings, so again, couplings has been used for configuration, and there are again a different kind of a graph that you will be able to find out and you will be able to plot. I think we have already discussed scatter matrices, so we all are aware about it, that what is scatter matrices, how we can try to draw. We have already discussed a bar plot, right? So I think this is the same graph that we have already plotted. So bar plot. This one we have done. Histogram we have done. Yeah. Surface plot or 3D plot we have done. This kind of a graph we have done, right? So these are the kind of a graph which exist inside a Plotly. Now, if you will go inside a Plotly dashboard, and then you will try to check. So now if you will go inside a Plotly, and then if you will try to check that whether I'm able to produce or whether I'm able to get this kind of a graph or not. So yes, you will be able to find out each and everything in our online version of Plotly. So whatever graph is available, so Atlas map or maybe a choropleth or title map or density title map. So each and every graph you will be able to understand. Even we have seen a polar bar, a ternary scatter, a polar scatter, right? Tree map we have seen over here. So each and every kind of a graph you will be able to plot. The only thing is coordinate, the kind of a input my graph function is looking for. So you are supposed to give only that kind of an input and my work will be done just in 1 or 2 lines, not more than that. So is this things looks good to every one of you guys? I was facing an issue with the Plotly library, but it was not plotting. However, Plotly Express is working fine. So yeah, Plotly offline. So you will have to set a Plotly offlines. Then only it is going to work. iPlot. So you are saying that you are facing issue with the iPlot. Plotly iPlot. You are not facing issue with the Plotly Express. So you just have to set a offline mode, and then it will work for sure. How has the boundary of each GeoJSON has been decided? Let's suppose I have a sensor, right? So for sure it will try to produce its own latitude, longitude. And let's suppose if I'm using the same data, this is how it used to decide. And this is how we produce a data. These are used in exit poll. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so some of the graph are like associated with a specific use cases for sure. So you can't use every graph everywhere, but you should know that yes, that is possible, right? And so that whenever it's required, you may be able to recall this knowledge, and then based out of that, so you can try to plot it, because you don't know that what kind of a data you are going to get. Yes. Upload the whole folder for a complete Python. Okay, I'll just try to upload. It's impossible for one person to be so good at tech, ML, plotting, and then being no, it's not possible, impossible. So it's actually like easy. So when you just work, so everything comes out of the work. आज के लिए इतना ही रहने दो. Okay, but these are a lots of plots. See, I'm not showing you this graph so that you will practice and you will experiment. No, I'm showing you this graphs so that you will get to know that yes, things exist. Because in general, we try to talk about just a box plot, just a histogram, or maybe a line plot, maybe a scatter plot, a scatter matrices, KD plot, or these kind of a, or pie plot, max to max, right? So these are the kind of a graph that we use to plot in general. But I have shown you even these examples so that you will be able to understand that this kind of a things exist and it's easy to do and it's easy to use. It's nothing fancy, right? You have a code up and running things. Whenever you will get a data, you just have to fit in your data set and you will be able to populate your graphs so that you will be able to understand a data in a better way. So that is the only reason I have shown you this one. Otherwise, there is no other reason. Yeah. For dashboard creation, Plotly is charging money or not? So Plotly will charge you if you are going to use a paid version of their dashboard. If you are going to install a library in your server or maybe in your system, and then if you are going to plot, they are not going to charge you anything because libraries is open sourced. Simple. Even with the offline Anurag, I don't think so. It should be an issue because I'm using it since a very long time. So maybe you can restart your kernel and then system. You can try this out. Right, it should work in general. So there is no other issue which I used to find out. Only practice makes one perfect. Yeah, just one time. You're not supposed to remember anything. See, even I don't remember these names at all. But yes, they have named these things in such a way that you don't have to remember. Once you will see the things, you will be able to remember. Simple. We will use so many graphs types ever just out of curiosity. See, you don't know that what kind of a project you are going to get, right? So let's suppose I will involve you in some sort of in some sort of mapping project, or maybe some sort of a satellite data project, or maybe some sort of a geographic based project. Then what you will do? You don't have any other option. Let's suppose in Ola Uber, they does the same thing. A lot of graph, I feel dizzy. Just we need to practice this by ourselves. You don't have to practice, just remember that yes, things exist, right? This is the only thing that you are supposed to understand. Apart from that, no need to remember even a single graph. I'm telling you, no need to remember even a single one. And code part of the graph, not at all. Can we plot a decision tree using a Plotly? So for a decision tree, there is a specific library. You can plot each and every decision tree till its leaf node. Today's session was so colorful and useful. Thanks. Okay, thank you. Cone graph is used for any suggestion, just for representing a point. A great notebook for reference in plotting. Yeah, so if you will keep this notebook, I think for your entire life, you can keep on using it. Just you have to make some changes and then you can reuse it. Simple. Can we download this plot in our system? Yes, Plotly is giving you these features, right? So I can download, or I can try to save anything as a color. So they are just giving you this feature over here itself. So here is a picture, download plot as a PNG. So now see, this plot is available as a PNG and I can try to use it in my Excel sheet or anywhere else, right? Every graph library is giving you this option. So like generally in Matplotlib, save option is there, save fig option is there. Even in Seaborn, save fig option is there. So everywhere these options are available. I wonder for this course today, there is any more batch when they are in a beginning stage, where they are in a beginning stage? No, not now, maybe in future. You will get to know soon. You will get to know about it. Please take more classes on plotting. Okay, why? So yeah, Seaborn I have not discussed. So maybe tomorrow I'll discuss Seaborn and then I'll start ahead with the project. Seaborn will take 1 hour of time because now you have seen all the graphs. So what I'm supposed to do is I'm just supposed to use that library and plot, replicate all the graphs. Same, I'll start from the scatter plot, line plot, bar plot, histogram, pie plot, right? And then box plot. So I'll just have to plot the graph. So I'll take one or two data set. And then with that, I'll try to keep on writing a code. Within 1 hour, Seaborn will be closed because it's the same graph that we are trying to draw. And why I'm showing you Plotly in the first place, because Plotly gives you like a interactiveness, right? And when you will see a Seaborn, you will feel like a boring. So Seaborn is a boring thing. You told us power of Plotly. Yeah, Plotly is actually like a very good. Even I like Plotly. So whenever I have to like plot any kind of a graph, so I prefer to use Plotly. Please take a data set for a customer segmentation in e-commerce for uploading. Yeah, I can do that. There is no issue. And one more thing, if you will look into your EDS section, right? So in your EDS section, I think we have given you a 10 notebook. In those 9 or 10 notebook, I don't remember the exact number. So over there, we have used again a variety of a graph in terms of doing a EDA, right? So if you will open up those notebook, so you will be able to see a beautiful graph with a beautiful data set, kind of a complex data set. So we are trying to find out lots and lots of insights into your EDA. When will be able to sign in the internship portal? I think I have already given you the answer in the beginning. Yes, from tonight, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, maybe. Someday, please tell us how to make a story for our DS. Don't worry. So one day is not sufficient. So I'll share my complete class recording itself so that you will get to know about it. Plotly is enough for visualization. Yeah, that's more than enough for visualization. Not for dashboarding. Fine, Raj. So maybe we can discuss about it in a later stage. Yeah. So your concern. Labels are missing in the images after downloading. So just try to keep a label inside this one. It's possible to download with the labels, and even it is possible to take a snapshot of out of that one. Yeah, so Nilesh has answered a question. So I think there is a person who was asking about can we draw a tree or can we plot a tree, right? So out of the data set. So yes, I said it is possible. There is a specific library into a scikit-learn which is available. So plot underscore tree. So Nilesh has answered that question. I'm still confused in merge, concatenate, append, and join. So try to practice one more time. I think uh, yeah, I'm better than before. Please tell us difference between visualization and dashboarding. I think I have started my class for this one with this definition. So what is the definition between a visualization and a dashboarding? So I have already given you an answer in detailed way in your first lecture itself. So please try to look into that. आपके क्लास में मेरा दिल खुश हो जाता है. For dashboarding, what we need to use, so you can try to use as per the industry Tableau and Power BI. Then third place is taken by ClickView. Right. Apart from this, so there are so many things which is available in the market. Japanese is available, Tibco, Spotify is available. Right. So, but yeah, Tableau and Power BI. This is a tool which everyone is using across the industry. Knowledge we get from this course is awesome. Thank you. Okay, so what time you are sleeping? Morning class again. Yeah, so that's a work, right? मैं कभी कभी YouTube live आके motivate कर दीजिएगा sir. Yeah, I'm not getting time to come on my YouTube channel. So I had a plan that I'll come on a regular basis, but after your class, again I have a class since morning 8 o'clock. So I'm taking a classes like yesterday night, so till 3 or 4 o'clock. So I was like with my team. So I was like working on so many things. I was trying to close so many works, pending works. So because of that, I'm not able to get time for my YouTube. Otherwise, if I'll get time, for sure I'll come. Even I want to like come over there and talk to our people. So, but just because of time, so I'm not able to come. maybe my night 8 o'clock class is going to get over by next week, or maybe next to next week, right? So after that, so I'll be a regular one, so on a YouTube, at least on Saturday or maybe on Sunday, I'll try. Simple. Sure, Vijata, for sure, I'll do that. Even I love doing those things. Since it was motivational, I'm actually thinking reversing concept quickly and applying the data analysis position. Yeah, see, Ahmed. So this is what I used to suggest to our people, right? So first of all, understand that what is a need of industry, because when we try to study something, right, back to back, so when we try to study something, so at that point of a time, maybe we are not able to focus on expectations that industry is having from our side, right? So I think first of all, we are supposed to understand that part. So first expectation will be prepare your resume. Now, when resume comes into a picture, so how to showcase my experience, how to showcase my project, what project I'm supposed to showcase, whether I'm supposed to showcase a Kaggle dummy project or I'm supposed to showcase a real-time project. So if you are already here, it simply means that you have so many projects, right? You have so many resumes, you have so many DPRs, you have so many HLD, you have so many LLD available to you from a very first day. So you can start taking advantage, and then you can start preparing your resume, your technology stack, each and every line inside your resume, right? Company wise resume, how to cover up your previous experience, how to convert that story in as a story of a data, or maybe as a story of a AI, right? A same project that you have done in your past, so how we can try to solve same thing with the help of AI, what and all different kind of AI use cases, what and all things I have done on a team level or maybe on a project level. So these things are very, very important when we are trying to make a transition. And then whatever technology, whatever algorithms, whatever libraries, whatever packages that you have mentioned inside your resume, start focusing on that part. Let's suppose I have just mentioned Python and machine learning and stats, right? I'll just try to focus on these parts, and maybe I'll go for the interview. Then I'll check that, okay, so whether I'm able to answer those questions or not. So after attending one or two interviews, for sure I'll get to know that, okay, so maybe there is a lag, there is a gap. I have already given you interview questions, right? Even there is another set of 30 interview questions which I have given you. So whether it's a project, whether it's a documentation, whether it's a algorithm, whether it's a like a contextual question, each and everything is handled over here, or in that particular place. Each and everything is given to you. So you are just supposed to align yourself, right? Because if you will start studying just a Python library, believe me, even 1 year is not sufficient for Python, just for Python, right? Just for statistics, 1 year is not sufficient. I have done my statistics, a PCDM and statistics, right? And it took 2 years just for statistics, right? Apart from engineering. So everything takes time. You're not supposed to get mastery into each and everything. What industry is looking for, so you are supposed to fulfill, you are supposed to prepare yourself just for that particular part, and start attending an interview. Try to find out a gap that you have, right, from every side, and start filling those gaps. This is how you will be able to make a easy transition, and in a like a minimum time. So you will be able to do that. Otherwise, if you will just keep on studying one thing, you will forget the other things that you have studied in the past, and in this way things will not work. And for some time you have to move yourself in a fast paced manner. So if you are able to move yourself in a fast paced manner, no one will be able to stop you anytime. Yeah, so that's the suggestion which I used to give. Now, so those who are looking for a storytelling, how to tell a story about a project, and about your DPR, about a HLD, about a LLD, how we try to do a cost estimation of a project for a senior people, how we have to represent that, how many clients we have acquired, how I have built a team, what kind of project I have delivered, right? What kind of clients I have acquired, what kind of cost cutting I have implemented. So each and every questions I have already answered in my 30 days interview questions series, the batch which I'm taking. So once that batch will be closed, so I'll make sure that some of those videos will be available in your batch. So some of those videos will be uploaded directly in your batch, most probably in next after 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, those things I'll like make it available over here, and then even you guys can start preparing for your interview directly. Start preparing for your interview, and in a fast track manner, or maybe you can start doing some sort of a reverse engineering and then go for an interview. Because unless and until you are not going for an interview, how you will get to know that where is a lag, right? You will not get that feeling. So and interview is all about like talking about yourself, talking about your work, talking about your experience, right, your story. So you should know that, okay, fine, so where is the lag if I'm not able to talk about myself or my story of AI or my project, right? Or maybe if I'm not able to answer some of the technical non-technical question, so then I'll start preparing on that level. Otherwise, in this way, we'll study Python, then stat, then ML, then DL, then vision, then NLP, then big data, then DA, then reinforcement, then GAN, and in this way things will go. I don't want any one of you to wait for our next 1 year, and you will see in your batch itself, right? In your batch itself, you will see that there are hundreds of people who are going to make a transition in between. So hundreds and hundreds, multi-hundreds people who are going to make a transition in between. And this is very common for all of our batches. So it's not like your batch is something exceptional. Yes, people does that, right? Because this is what we are going to discuss going forward a lot. So how to talk and what kind of a project, everything we will try to discuss in very detail, just like a story. And same story you are supposed to demonstrate over here, or you are supposed to discuss over here. Nothing much you have to discuss, right? How do you manage long working hour every day? So yeah, it's the same routine since last 5 years. So my body get used to it. So now it doesn't matter. This thing doesn't matter. This course is something which is a complete set I was looking for. Thanks to someone asked me to wait for a year to join this one. Okay, thank you. Yeah, from here, see, here you will not just learn. I'll make sure that I always make sure that from any of my courses, so intention is not to give you some sort of a basic learning or kind of a learning which will just help you out to do a small things. We as a Iron, so we always make sure from our side that yes, if we are providing anything for you, even and we don't even like care about the price part. So even if we are providing something in 100 rupees, so for sure we are supposed to give a complete value to that money, so that you are not supposed to spend even 1,000, 10,000, 20,000 or lakhs of rupees somewhere else. So this is what we have make sure. And yeah, in your courses that is available. If you want, you can do a comparison. Complete market industry is open for all of us, right? So you can just like check that one and let me know about the feedback if I'm wrong, so I'll try to make it correct. Give us some reason how good in everything, big data, data science, and other thing. See, everything comes after the experience, right? So even you will be able to give a lecture, you will be able to talk about a multiple scenarios, situations, domains, and project once you will deliver those projects and once you will work in those projects. So the final thing is like a work. You have to work, and you have to work very fast, right? If in a limited time, if you have to acquire so much of things, so very fast, day in day night. So yeah, and if you are going to work for maybe a couple of months, day in day night, in a fast paced manner, no one can stop you. For sure you will be like above everyone, right? And it is easy. It just needs one thing: hard work, right? There is no shortcut. So don't think that I'll give you some tips and you will be able to do it. There is no such tips which exist. Those who are giving you those tips, so maybe you can take those tips from them, but there is no tips. Simple. So just a hard work. Motivational, I'm actually thinking in revising the concept. Yeah, please take those classes. उतना मजा नहीं आ रहा है. I'm not getting a time. That's a major issue. Otherwise I would have taken AWS AI Ops both the classes, because I know like both of the things almost. But graph are not able to see. Restart your kernel, man. So I think it will work. Okay, Nilkas. People are so worried about internship and irritated you asking the same thing at the first. We need to digest all these things, then some project discussion detail, then only we can do our internship. Yeah, without any hurdle. Yeah, see, from our side, we are not trying to keep any kind of a condition that you will not be able to join this internship, that internship. Now internship will be available for all of you 24/7, right? So we have planned this internship and we have created this portal in such a way that from a very first day, anyone will be able to enroll into any internship. Now, It depends upon you whether you are capable enough to work on that part or not. This is how we are releasing this current internship. And even in a batch where we were not providing an internship, now we will start providing an internship to all of them from a day one, right? That's the idea, and that's a theme that we have this time. So, and you're not supposed to worry about it. So we are like a very flexible, I believe, in every term, in every way. So we are like very flexible, and we always like trying to help each and everyone, and we are trying to motivate so that they will be able to get into an industry as soon as possible. Yeah, because we are working for the common goal. So I think you should not worry about that. Whatever is our task, we'll do it. Whatever is your task, you can keep on doing. Are we going to cover any other topic today? No, my topic is done. I think people had so much thing. What is DPR, HLD, and LLD? Uh, I think you have not attended any of my community session. Okay, no issue. So I'll talk about it. Don't worry. Yeah. You once you will look into the document. So this is the standard procedure of any project in any companies as well. Please guide me making on my resume. I think I have already created a YouTube video on my channel. Plus, I'll just up in my 30 days interview preparation. So I have already discussed. I already said that I'll make those videos available over here. Whenever time will come, we'll go for the one-to-one. Sustainability after transition for the experienced people, everyone will be able to sustain. See, I have never seen even a single cases where people are not able to sustain in a particular industry, and especially from here, because here, so we are not talking about just some basic things. You will see in our projects, right? So I can like tell you, and I can bet on you that you are going to use our code in your applications somewhere for sure, right? The kind of projects and the kind of a code that we have shared with you. So for sure, it's not like and everything you will be able to understand over here. So sustainability, don't worry about it. So like you're not supposed to worry about these things. Why W Power BI according to you? So this is a dashboarding tool. So yes, for dashboarding purpose, we don't have any other alternative. Yeah, we do have alternative like ClickView and Japlin and like Tibco Spotify. Fast track manner, I have a confidence now to face the interview, but I don't know knowledge of MLP. Suggest go ahead with the computer vision knowledge itself. There are so many opportunities which is coming in for this one. Thing is that enough to get a data engineering? Yeah, even whatever Saurav is covering, so it's more than enough. And syllabus, actually, that syllabus that he is trying to cover, so that is created by me and only me, right? So don't worry about it. I have not left Suman. So this is the answer for you. So I have not even left a single point over here, which is which apart from that, anyone can ask anything. Yeah, and that is a syllabus which I have created. So he's trying to cover. So don't worry. Ankit, I have already answered your question so many times. So please try to watch lectures, yeah, to get your answer. Do gaming chair helps for sitting a longer duration? Your motivation and dedication and workload helps you out, right? Chair doesn't help you out. So don't try to spend on chairs. Try to get some like a dedication and some goal. Try to set a goal objective that okay, today I'll finish this much of task, and that goal you are supposed to achieve on a daily basis. You will be able to find out that you will like end up developing this skill of doing a task in a fast pace. Yeah, so that is something which will help you out. Can I not give a freelancing concept contract? No, not for development. We never give a freelancing to anyone for a development because we have what we believe is like we have a very strong team and who can deliver each and everything. And we always look for a full-time people. So instead of freelancer, just for some sort of a recordings or something, we have open source some freelancing work, not for development. For development and research, so we have our own team. Just a feedback, please take a AWS class. No, is amazing. Okay, sure. I'll just like take this feedback. What is the meaning of name iNeuron? So neuron, I think you all understand, right? So randomly I got this name iNeuron from that neuron part, from deep learning. Human neurons. But graphs are not able to see the output. I think I have already taken this one. The university, I would like to contact and need a guidance personally from you, a government servant in India, but planned to change my field in data science. I find myself in the middle of nowhere sometime. Okay, so even Akash, there is a person from our company called as Amea Mote. So he's in Germany. I think he will be able to help you out. Recently, he has secured so many jobs, not just one. So I think you can drop me a mail. I can connect with him, and he can give you. So, sir, I have a feedback. I have done Udacity nano degree in data science, and iNeuron is far better than Udacity. Yeah, thank you. I don't do a comparison, but yeah, everyone is doing a hard work, every organization. So everyone is trying to do their best. Simple. After Python, please start ML. Yeah, after Python, for sure, there is a ML, right? Because stats Chris has already discussed. So ML is something that will come in between. Can I get a checklist, like a list of all the topic covered in Excel sheet so that we can know what topics is covered? Go through your recordings. We are not going to give you any checklist. It's not our responsibility. As a student, it's your responsibility to prepare that, your responsibility to attend all the live classes, right? We have published a syllabus. That was our responsibility. So that you will check a syllabus, then you will enroll, and then you will be able to ask a question if we have missed something from that syllabus. So that syllabus is already available, right? Why we will give you a checklist when we are giving you already a recordings, and we are giving you notebooks? Don't expect this kind of a things. This is not going to happen in our case. Data engineers are paid similar to a data scientist. It depends company wise, right? So both pays you better than any other technology. So yeah, that depends upon company. EDA will be after ML? No, in between itself. I'll cover EDA. Sub feature chahiye sabko. No, it's fine. It's okay to we are living in a democratic country, so it's okay to have a discussion. I don't have any issue on discussion part. I restarted my kernel many times, even in a Jupyter notebook. Again, open a Jupyter notebook, run the code. Leave it, man. This will not work. Simple. I mean, it should work, by the way. So can I get a chance in next time? I have already mentioned that internship will be open from tonight, and it will be available 24/7/365. Yeah. So it will be open for 365 days. So you can join anytime, you can interact in any project, you can start any project. We don't have any issue. This is the way we have launched a module so that we can remove our dependencies. After 2 months, we launch our internship, or after 3 months. Now it will be a continuous one. You all can participate through our dashboard. Simple. Right? So you don't have to wait. Whenever you got a thought, you can go and you can log in, and then you can start. Can I know what is on your wall backside? It's just a poster, some motivational quotes or something. It's there. Course and people who pays lakhs in MS. What is the difference between your course and people who pays lakhs in MS? People who pays lakhs in MS, so they just pay for the namesake, right? Just like on a name. If you will check a syllabus, our syllabus is approximately 10x than their syllabus. Honestly speaking, see, I'm not saying these things out of exaggeration or something, right? But yes, our syllabus is available, their syllabus is available. The number of hours of live classes, interactive classes that they used to give is available. The number of projects that they used to give, we used to give, is available. You can do a comparison. So they are charging 3 lakh, 4 lakh rupees just for the name, because they are doing a lots of advertisement. They are burning millions just out of the advertisement. So for sure they have to recover those millions. So from where they will recover? Of course, from your fees. We are not doing any advertisement, right? We don't burn money on unnecessary things. So that's a difference which I can highlight over here. So from here, so people are able to get a job. From there, no one knows. Yes, they do have a testimonial, a big name. So sometimes once you will search that name on a LinkedIn, you will not be able to get even a single profile with that person's name here. So whenever we do our discussions, we do share a LinkedIn profile with a consent for sure from a person. So yeah, from in our cases, you will be able to get open Google reviews. In their cases, just go and search the Google reviews. You will not be able to see even any single Google reviews, because in the past, many people have given a very, very bad reviews. And because of that, they have removed. In our cases, whether it's a bad or whether it's a good reviews, we never remove it, right? And it's still is there. So that is a difference, right? W certification, or should I do more project? Do a work on the project. Project is like always better. Outlier doesn't impact the decision tree class here, but we don't use any mean anywhere split as well as in prediction. But we use a mean for calculating the square residual for the best split and predict the target value in the decision tree regressors. So do we impact because outlier for the decision tree regressor? Yes, it does actually. How to know my LinkedIn profile is good? Prepare. Accumulated the checklist for the statuses Chris talked us. You can share this to the concerned person. Okay. Okay, that's great. I think in next few years, at least one employee is in any companies from Iron. Yeah, even nowadays you will be able to find out. You will go for the interview and you'll find out that your director and manager is from Iron. That happens, like many times it has happened. So yeah, for sure we are trying to create. Our thing is like okay, so simple: value for money, value for time, and try to give something. Beyond that, people are not supposed to look for any other things from any other organization. That's a theme, or that's a kind of a mindset that we always try to keep. We are just working, and again, everywhere humans are involved, so there is an error which is possible, glitches possible. So we do take a feedback, and based on that, so even we try to improvise ourselves, and we are improvising. We have improvised a lot in last 1.5 year, 2 year. So yeah. well, doctor say costing structure पर बात हो रहा है, no consideration. Yeah, even costing is an important part, Avinash, for sure. We have to discuss about these things in AWS. Costing is very, very important part. So when you involve a cloud things. So, and again, many questions people used to ask. Can you please help me to prepare my resume for the Python programmer just because 13-year experience? We'll talk about it when time will come. So from my side, from our side, we'll take this initiative. Discussion with Aniron team to make our resume better. Yeah, resume part. So we will discuss from our side. One year on launch hoga 31st August ko, ya further delay expected hai. One year on will be launching I think by the second week of September, right? So with first, so we are trying to freeze 31st. We are trying to freeze all the requirements from our side. Then it will go for the testing. So I think 15 days it will take for the testing phase, and then it will be launched. Going forward for the internship, what's the plan, or connecting the cloud services? Do we? Yeah, you have to create everything by your own for sure, because it's a project. We are asking you to do it. I know content in the classes and the college, then college lecture. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so fine, guys. I think I'm done. I have answered most of the question, not all, right? So yeah, I'll try to answer rest of the question tomorrow, maybe. When he's stuck in any point of internship, whom to take guidance from? So I think we have given you an email ID. You can drop a mail, and then from there you will start getting a guidance. Yeah, we have already made all those provisions, so you are not supposed to worry about it. Anything that we are launching. So we have like a structure. We have our own way of like processing things, each and everything. Yeah. So fine, guys, with that, thank you so much, and see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow, my agenda will be to talk about Seaborn, first 1 hour, and then last 2.5 hours, I will try to spend on a project part, a complete Python project till deployment. Let's see till what we will be able to discuss, but I'll try to cover till deployment, so that even next week we have to do a mini Python projects and a pending module. So there are some modules which is pending. So I'll try to list down all of those modules, and we'll try to wrap up, so that next week I will try to start a EDA and machine learning part back to back. Yes. So with that, thank you so much, and see you again tomorrow. Yes. Thank you so much, everyone.